One moment, it can change your life. It can define you. The catch, the tackle, the run, succeed, and there will be more moments. Lose, and this is your moment. This is your memory. FCS playoffs. What will be today's moment? Coverage of the NCAA Division I Football Championship is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Missoula, Montana, Washington Grizzly Stadium, one of the best venues in college football. It's a matchup of the Big Sky co-champions, Weber State against Montana. A look now at the FCS bracket shows what's at stake. The winner moves to the national semifinals to face either top seed James Madison or Villanova. Hi, everybody. Alongside Doug Chapman, I'm Trey Bender. Glad you're with us. Montana is a perennial powerhouse year in and year out. They know what's at stake here. For Weber State, they're the new kid on the block, dynamic offense, maybe their best team ever.
Maybe their best team because they have two really great players, and they're led by Cameron Higgins, quarterback, over 4,200 yards in his last 13 games of passing. He gets the job done. Only a sophomore, puts up big numbers, really helps his team go. But like you said, the Grizz are the veterans here. 8-0 when hosting a quarterfinal game. They do not lose here. Trevin
Smith is the rushing option for Weber State. He has led the league in rushing the last 3 years. He makes them go.
He makes them go. He gets it done. He's very dynamic. Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside, catches the ball well out of the backfield. Very explosive plays. He's already the career leading rusher, only a junior. Expect big things from him today.
Montana led at running back by a small-town Montana kid in Chase Reynolds. 17 career rushing touchdowns, school record.
Small town, played 8-man football in high school, made the jump to 11-man football, hasn't had a drop-off. In the last 6 games, he's gone over 100 yards. The running game has been their go-to weapon on offense. He's been their go-to guy. Has to have a big game today in order for them to advance in the playoffs.
2 big play wide receivers as well, both first-team All-Big Sky guys. Tim Toon out of Phoenix makes the Wildcats go. And on the other side, Mark Mariani. Great speed on the outside. Kickoff next for Missoula. Welcome back to Missoula. Great atmosphere here for college football. Quarterfinal action in the football championship subdivision, Montana and Weber State. As we look at the Big Sky standings, what a year it was for these two teams. Wildcats securing the automatic bid from the NCAA with a win over Montana in Ogden, Utah. But the Grizzlies get the number 4 national seed. No bad losses, and that was the reason Montana is hosting here today. And there's a look at that first matchup in rainy conditions in Ogden.
You know, and Montana jumped out early in the first quarter, 14-3, but you see Weber State in the second, comes back 4 touchdowns. They came back, fought back, so Montana knows they cannot just lay down once they score points. They have to play 4 quarters of football today.
When you talk about these two coaches, they're 2 good ones, and this guy is a veteran, has seen many wars. Big Sky Conference Coach of the Year, Ron McBride. New deal signed November 4th through the 2012 season. 6 bowl appearances. He resurrected football at Utah. Now he does it at Weber State, the consummate program builder. And he's excited about this chance. No use complaining about it. We've got to play at Montana. That's how it is. Montana decked out in the maroon home jerseys and Weber State in the visiting white jerseys. Let's take a look at the keys to the game in cold conditions here, 30 degrees or so in Missoula.
You know, in today's keys for Montana, they have to use the home field advantage. Montana's 8-0 when hosting a quarterfinal football game. They have to also depend on Mighty Mark, and Mighty Mark is Mark Mariani. He's very dangerous as a receiver, and also in the return game, he's one of the tops in FCS in punt return yardage. Now, for Weber State, they have to win the battle of field position, and what I mean by that is not allow Montana to play with a short field. They're very explosive on offense, have a great running back. They need to make them work 80 yards and work a long field. And lastly, Cameron Higgins, he has to have over 4,500 yards. Comes in today with 4,200. If he walks out here with over 4,500, that means that a 300-yard passing game, which means success. 9 times out of 10, you win the football game.
Bobby Houck, just 43 years old, 6 straight Big Sky titles in his 6 seasons at Montana. A model of consistency, 6 straight playoff trips as well, 2-time Big Sky Coach of the Year. Physical brand of football they play here in Missoula, and he hopes that is the difference here today. Familiar foes squaring off. Weber State and Montana. Montana has been there, done that. Their goals each and every year are to win the Big Sky, win a national title, their kids get their degree, and of course beat Montana State, their arch rival. This is a tremendous atmosphere. This is as good as it gets in this part of the country.
It's as good as it gets. It doesn't get any bigger than this. They have a great stadium, great venue. You know, a lot of history here. This team wins a lot of football games. You can tell from the fan support, you know, not just here in the stadium, but around town. They really believe in this team. This team has won a lot of football games. And they come in every Saturday expecting to win.
Weber State and Ron McBride, a tough loss to Eastern Washington in the final regular season game. They got behind early in that game, had to battle back, came up short, fumbled the ball late, lost by a touchdown. But they really righted themselves first round with a win over third-ranked Cal Poly, 49-35 on the road. That said a lot against a very good offensive team.
Now, that said a lot. And, you know, after the game, Trevin Smith said Cal Poly was the best team that they have played all year, which kind of rubbed a few of the Montana Grizzlies the wrong way because, hey, they figured that when they beat Montana, that was the best team they faced. So now, you know, a little bit of bad blood, but we'll see how it pans out when this kickoff goes on.
There's a look at a very dangerous return man, Bryant Edawati. He is a two-time first-team all-conference return specialist and can break it open at any moment. Also a factor in their passing game, a senior from Layton, Utah. It's cold. No precipitation so far. We've been told there could be some snow, maybe a mix of rain later on. Montana to kick it off. Brody McKnight, the freshman from Vancouver, British Columbia, and he kicks it short, and fielding it for Weber State and bringing it ahead is Justin White, their backup running back out to the 37-yard line. Cameron Higgins may be the best player in college football, but he's only a sophomore. You see the numbers there. Coach McBride thinks he should be the favorite to win the Walter Payton Award next season. It's mind-boggling when you look at the touchdown passes.
Now, only a sophomore. I mean, if you watch this kid drop back, he gets the job done. He can throw the ball. He makes every throw on the field, has a great command of this offense. He's a fun player to watch.
From Hawaii Kai, Hawaii. Coach McBride said the University of Hawaii did not recruit him. They stepped in, and they're glad to have him. Out of the backfield, they swing it out to Trevin Smith, breaks a tackle, and he's across the 45-yard line. First close to 7 yards, Craig Metler on the tackle. The skill people are very good. The fullback, Marcus Miley, best NFL prospect in college football at fullback, they believe. First-team all-conference guy. Up front, they're big. 3 first-team all-conference guys. Moocher, the junior center out of Park City, Utah. He's playing the screen pass. The hands of Smith, sets up a second down and short for Higgins and company. Smith on the ground now. He has a first down, and he's into Grizzlies territory to the 49-yard line. Let's take a look at the Grizzlies defensively. They don't have a lot of stars. They just play together, according to their coach. Jace Palmer, 8.5 sacks to lead the way. Hometown kid. Fisher is the son of Jeff Fisher, the Titans head coach. He's a converted safety. And in the secondary, Colt Anderson, one of the top players in FCS, their defensive captain at that position. First down, Wildcats at the Grizzlies 49 from the gun. They run a little option. They're going to blow this play dead. Some movement up front. Tony Marcella, our lead referee here in Missoula.
Prior to snap, ball starts. Number 61 on the offense. 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage. First down.
Patriot League officials here today. That's Leviah Nahi, a senior from Hawaii. Here's a look at the left guard. First and 15. This is a dynamic offense. They'll mix up the looks. This time 4 receivers and the single running back in Smith. Higgins. Smith again out of the backfield. Nice catch in stride across the 40, and he's close to a first down. It looks like he has it at the Grizz 38.
And what I like about that play is Higgins was patient at the line of scrimmage. Montana, they walk 2 guys up, they show blitz. Higgins is not panicked, resets, tells his center, delayed snap the ball. Throws a nice catchable ball, like a long toss play out with Trevin Smith. Pick up a nice 10 yards. That's what you do when you are a quarterback that's in command of your offense.
Higgins has all the tools. He can run out of trouble with his feet. Good arm, but the thing Coach Mack likes the most, he's got a lot upstairs. A really smart kid. First down at the 38. Handoff Smith. Sidesteps 1 man. Hit at the 35 and leans forward to the 34-yard line. And Smith, a guy that averages 5.4 a carry.
You know, 5.4. If you watch that run, not a big run, nothing really fancy, but he makes a guy miss. He should have been tackled in the backfield, makes a man miss, gets upfield, picks up 2 to 3 more yards. That's what the great backs do. It may not always be the 60 or 70 yarder. It's the 4 and 5 yard runs that should have been losses that separate the good backs from the great backs.
Nice opening drive for Weber State. They got the football at the outset. They're now in Montana territory, 2nd and 7 at the Grizzlies 35. In motion, Edawati. Higgins, pressure coming, loses a handle on the football. It's loose at the 44. Montana believes they have it. He lost the grip on it, and no indication yet. It will be Montana football. They call it a fumble.
And I'm not sure if his arm was going forward. You know, there's no replay here, so the call on the field is going to have to stand. And you see him drop back right here. Going forward, it looks like it just slips out of his hand. You know, no one can find the ball actually between one of the linemen's legs. He can't get on it. Montana gets on it. Those are the type of plays they have to have. Those are momentum changers, can shift momentum, get this crowd into it. Montana has to have those. Hey, look for those all afternoon.
That was Brandon Fisher on the blitz, causing Higgins maybe to speed things up a little bit, but he lost the handle, and a costly turnover at the 45. Grizz go to work now. Hand off to Reynolds, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage and leans forward for maybe a yard, and that's it. Cole Bergquist, 29-5 as a 3-year starter, 2nd team all-conference. He'll run some option. He's good in that part of the game, threat to run it, but doesn't make a lot of mistakes. As you look at his 3 touchdown passes, deep balls, but normally it's a controlled short passing game and running the football. That's his game. Senior from San Clemente, California.
No, he's just like you said, he directs the offense. You know, with the running back like Reynolds that's having a great end of the year, that's all you have to do is turn around and put your team and hand it to him.
Here is Reynolds running right, moves the pile a little bit up to the 47-yard line. We talked about Reynolds, but they have some players that are going to help out. Mike Ferreter is a senior from Helena, Montana, 45 catches this year. He's the offensive captain. Up front, only one first-team all-conference guy. That's Colin Dow. He's 6'5", 300 at the left guard spot. And they have a lot of size. They have 4 of their 5 starters over 300 pounds. Looks like J.D. Quinn, their senior center, shaken up a little bit.
You know, and hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully it's something he can come back from, because you know, they like to run the football. You know, and your center is your captain of your offensive line. You know, he makes all of your calls, and you know, he's the guy that gets everyone in order. So you hope that something, he's just a little bit nicked up, nothing too major, hopefully.
A lot of limbs, legs, and arms in the middle of that, and he was on the bottom of it. This is a guy that, you know, was at Oklahoma, and he was dismissed from OU as part of the NCAA sanctions that came down when he was paid for work he didn't do at that Norman car dealership, remember, with Red Bomar. But he's really turned things around and really matured the last couple of years here at Montana.
You know, and Coach Houck speaks highly of this young man and in the maturity level, like you said, and that's what you want out of your center, the captain of your offensive line. You know, he's the guy you look to when things get tough. Hopefully not too bad of an injury. He'll be back in there, hopefully before the end of this game.
We talked a little bit about Bergquist, maybe not as dynamic as Higgins, but 7th in the nation in pass efficiency. There's a look at Montana on 3rd downs this season. They've been very good. This will be a 3rd and 7 from their 48, trying to keep the drive alive. 4 receivers. Mariani in motion. Bergquist has time. It's caught. It's Ferreter. It's a first down to the Weber State 41-yard line. Their leader with a big reception, Antwain Stutson, the freshman corner on the tackle.
You know, Ferreter's another guy. You know, Mariani is their big play guy, but Ferreter makes a lot of plays happen also.
Ate Muleni, 26-year-old, born in New Zealand, a bull rush end is key up front. Biff Swan excels in all areas. He's 2nd on the team in tackles. And Bo Hadley, 1st team all-conference, 1st team academic All-America at that free safety spot. First down, Grizz at the Weber State 40-yard line. Initial series for Montana. Bergquist, slant pattern through the hands of Ferreter, incomplete. That was a bullet. And you put it on the money, a little bit high maybe.
And that was a bullet. It had to be a bullet, because if you put too much air into that type of ball in cover 2 with that safety sitting there, you're going to get your receiver knocked out. You know, I'm sure he wished he could have brought that one in, but Bergquist put a lot of smoke on that football. You see right here, he takes one step, knows right where he's going with it, throws a slant, puts it right on him a bit high, but a catchable football. But hey, you cannot lob that ball in there. You might get somebody hurt.
Bergquist fourth in school history in passing yardage. They've had some good ones here at Montana. Here's a handoff to Reynolds, stretching it to the outside, cuts it back and moves it forward to the 36-yard line, 4 yards. And tough sledding there. A helmet comes off. A Weber State defender on that play. That was Kevin Linehan. There he is, the junior from Los Alamitos, California.
You know, good defensive play by Weber by not allowing this play to get more yardage than it could have. Great play by the corner, cutting it back inside. But I'm very impressed with the offensive line of Montana. Very aggressive. They're coming off the football, blocking to the second level and blocking the secondary. That's going to be the key to this game. Who wins the battle in the trenches?
And Coach Houck also loves the blocking ability of his wide receivers. He said they got to have a zest for it. They got to block or they won't play. Third down. Bergquist under pressure, rolling away from it. Now he throws, just got rid of the football. He had a couple Wildcats after him, including Hate Moleni, the senior from West Valley City, Utah.
You know, good job by Weber State defensively. That was designed to be a quick pass. You see the ends tried to cut the defensive ends to get their hands down quickly. That's meant the ball's supposed to be out quickly. Great coverage in the secondary by Weber State. Nowhere to go with the football. Bergquist has to throw it away.
And on a 4th and 5, no punt team. They will go for it at the Wildcats 35-yard line. They've been very good on 4th downs. You see the numbers there. 4th and 5, 4 receivers with Reynolds in the backfield. Fakes it, keeps it, quarterback draw, first down and more for Bergquist. He's going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Montana. 35 yards. And that looks like a passing down setup there, but they run it, and they run it effectively.
You know, and I love the play call. Earlier in the series, we saw a little misdirection where they handed off to Reynolds, and they faked the end around. So they're giving the defense a look of misdirection. On this play, they do a little bit of misdirection in the backfield. Not too much trickery, just turning, faking. Great trap blocking by the offensive line. Bergquist follows his blockers. 6 points. Great play call, perfect execution.
That's his 8th rushing touchdown. He saw a seam and showed that he has some speed at that quarterback spot. Brody McKnight for the extra point, and Montana up 7-0. They convert on 4th down. They've been great all year in clutch situations, and they do it again on their initial series. Bergquist on the option, the keeper, and he takes it the distance. Montana up early. A clutch opening drive for Montana as the quarterback Bergquist races in to make it 7-0 here. First quarter in Missoula. They convert on a 4th and 5 from the Weber State 35-yard line.
Now that's some confidence there. You know, hey, that's some confidence when you know your team can get the job done. You don't pass it, you run it on 4th and 5 and pick it up. 35-yard touchdown.
Brody McKnight, the kickoff. Edawati from the 5-yard line. And he's corralled at the 23. Great special teams coverage that time from Montana. Down there in our hurry. And they've been good on special teams all season long. Severin Campbell, sophomore from Denver, on the play. Weber State, accustomed to coming from behind. In fact, they did it against Montana in the first matchup, losing 21-10 in Ogden. And they had a nice drive in their opening series. But turnovers were a key, and that's not the way you want to start things.
Turnovers will kill you. You can watch any level of football. You turn the football over, you will not win. The turnover in the opening drive set them back, led to Montana getting 6 points. Let's see if they can fix this drive here.
Higgins off the option fake. And he's tracked down from behind after a nice gain up to the 30-yard line. Schillinger, free safety on the tackle, 7 yards.
So you see Higgins, he takes a snap. This is a design run all the way. Gets around. Great job by Montana. Gets bottling them up. He's a long striding guy, deceivingly quick. You have to get on him before he gets started. Good play in the open field. But Cameron Higgins is very dangerous, both running the football and passing.
Sets up a 2nd and 3 at the 30-yard line for the Wildcats. They'll go I formation. Miley, the lead back in front of Trevin Smith. Smith with the football, slanting left, hit hard, right in the mouth, and pushed backwards about a yard shy of the first down. That's Sean Lebsock, the junior middle linebacker, and he is a load. He looks like he's small, but he delivers a big hit.
This you call getting hit in the mouth right here. Mano-a-mano in the hole. Nobody's kicking the shoulder. No soft shoulder. Put your helmet right on the man's chest. Knock him backwards. Great tackle. Great football play.
Big Montana family. His dad, Ron, played center at Montana in the 70s. Third down and a yard. High formation again. Higgins changing the play now. Play clock down to 2 as he takes the snap. Looking near sideline, and he shoots it over the head of Tune out of bounds.
And, hey, I'm going to tell you, that's great coverage right there. That is great coverage by the corner, number 21. Keith Thompson plays great bump coverage, keeps the receiver from getting into his route. Higgins has nowhere to go to throw the football out of bounds.
So the Grizzlies get a turnover, and then they get a 3 and out. And they'll get the football back as you look at Schulte. Bob Schulte, a senior from Great Falls, Montana. Getting ready for the punt return. First, we have a timeout with 8:07 to go first quarter. Ron McBride knows this is a tough test. This is one of the top environments in college football. It's tough to win here, and Montana has a very rich tradition. This is a program that has a couple national championships in 1995 and in 01. Look at what they've done in the FCS playoffs, especially at home.
You know, they don't lose at home. You know, I played against Montana in 96. They had beaten me at Marshall when I was there in 95 the year before. And one thing we were fortunate, we didn't have to come here and play. You know, it's a very tough place to play. You know, it can be imposing to a lot of opposing teams, but they do not lose. This is what they do. They win football games. They have a great tradition here, especially at home.
You saw the 19 playoff trips tied with Eastern Kentucky for the most ever. The stat about 8-0 at home in quarterfinals is the stat that jumps off the page.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's intimidating. When you roll in here in the playoffs in a quarterfinal game against Montana, they don't lose. So you have to come in here and get that out of your mind that you can win.
How about this? 4th and 1, the Wildcats go for it, and that's good enough for the first down. Higgins on the keeper, so Ron McBride rolls the dice, and even a riskier call here in his own territory, and they move the sticks.
A very risky call, because if you don't pick this up, you give Montana the football back at the 34, 35-yard line with a great running attack and some momentum. We talked about earlier in the game, Coach McBride wants to win the battle of field position. Hey, you don't convert that 4th down, you do exactly what you don't want to do. You know, and it's a gamble. Both teams have taken it, and it's paid off so far for both.
He's made the comment he knows they can move the football. They did it in Ogden, and they want to get that engine revving here. First down from the 34-yard line. Pressure coming. Higgins down the middle for Tune, and it's knocked away. Good defensive play by Andrew Swink, the boundary corner. Got his right hand up there.
You know, good job by Swink. You know, he sees the post. He can't get over the top, so what he does, he plays underneath. Great coverage, gets his hand up at the last minute. Maybe a little bit of contact. That offhand may have been wrapped around the receiver. The receiver wanted a flag, but good job by Swink going underneath and batting the ball down. Great play.
Tune, a guy that wants to stretch the field with his speed. Has 77 catches on the year, not that time. 2nd down and 10. Phillips is split to the bottom of the screen. 2 receivers to the top. Higgins hands it off. Smith breaks 1 tackle, and he's cut down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards, though, and sets up a more manageable 3rd and 5. Anderson there on the stop.
You know, and Smith earlier in the week was talking about Colt Anderson, you know, who's one of the best in the business at what he does, saying that that's a guy that he knows in open field he has to be aware of. He knows he brings what they call that hard hat mentality. He will knock you down, will put you in the dirt. Trev said when he comes through, he looks for this guy, and he said he always knows where number 19 is on the football field.
Getting attention from pro scouts at that strong safety position. 3rd and 6. Split backs this time for protection, possibly for Higgins. Out of the backfield, Smith the catch, first down, and he's up close to midfield, knocked out of bounds by Schillinger at the 49-yard line. Smith out of the backfield. You know, he had 55 catches coming into this game.
You know, and that's what he can do to you. He's not only just a tailback that can just run the ball when you hand it out. You know, he can run out. This is nothing really but a long toss play. You give an athlete the football in space, he turns back into a running back once he catches it and makes guys miss, gets upfield. This is why he's a dangerous football player. He has to be accounted for at all times.
He had a big touchdown catch in their win at Cal Poly in the first round. Moves the chains, ball at the 48-yard line. Adewati, split right, Tune to the left. Higgins on a play fake. Pressure coming. fires it, Toon has it inside the 40, and he's knocked down at the 35-yard line. Anderson on the tackle, and that was great composure by Higgins. The backside pressure, he was hit as he delivered it.
You know, great composure to stay in there. A quarterback, they have that sixth sense. They can feel the pressure. He knows he's going to get hit from his left. Stands in there, delivers the ball a bit high, but Tim Toon does a great job climbing the ladder, catching the football. Coach McBride says Toon is probably the best athlete on this football team. Shows it on that play right there.
Chase Palmer was in the neighborhood, couldn't quite get to Higgins in time. First down at the 35 for the Wildcats. Hand off to Smith, running left. And he's hit after a gain of close to 4 yards at the 30-yard line. As that was Sean Lebsack again, the middle linebacker.
And what I like about Montana's front four is they're keeping a lot of bodies off of their linebackers and letting the linebackers remain active. Linebackers hate having a lot of men in their face. They like to take that one step downhill, read and fill. And when your front four guys are keeping bodies off of you, it allows your linebackers to flow and go upfield and make tackles. They're doing a good job keeping Trevor Smith at bay, because if they don't, he will run wild on you.
Coach Mack mixes it up again. I formation last play. Now 5 receivers, empty backfield on this one on second down. Higgins going for the corner, and Phillips, and he overshoots him. Coverage applied by Keith Thompson. Phillips, sprinter speed. He is a track team guy, all-conference Big Sky in that sport as well.
You know, another good job by Keith Thompson. Earlier we saw him do a great job on the bump coverage. This time he just plays. He sees the go route, plays it perfectly, has perfect position. They call it using the sideline as your friend. When you know that, hey, you got the sideline there, let him run down the sideline all you want. Don't let him get inside you. Great coverage. Higgins throws a long ball. Hey, now they bring up another down.
3rd and 6, passing down. Let's see if they can put some heat on Cameron Higgins here from the 30-yard line. Smith to his left. Higgins over the middle, catch made, and the ball is fumbled. It's loose. Nakamura the catch, but he coughed it up inside the 25. No indication yet. Montana says they have it, and they do. The second fumble by Weber State. This time the tight end Nakamura, after making the grab, coughs it up. Anderson was there. Montana has forced 2 Weber State turnovers. They've cashed in on one of them, and they get another one right here off the Nakamura fumble. The home team in front. You're watching the FCS Division I Football Championship. Weber State has moved the football, but no points to show for 2 costly fumbles, and Coach McBride did not like, I think, the call on that last one. Fumble by Nakamura, the tight end. Here's a look.
You know, and you see he drops back, finds a tight end, fighting to get upfield, and right here, you can't see where his left knee is, and I'm sure Coach McBride wanted to say his knee was down when that ball was coming out, but you know, there's no replay, you know, here, so but whatever the call is on the field, that's the call that stands.
Look what happened in Ogden in that Weber State win 45-28, and so far today, Montana has already turned one of those turnovers into a touchdown. This time they'll start in their own territory at the 24-yard line. Bergquist with an I formation behind him, hands it off to Reynolds. Running right, has a seam across the 30, and he's close to a first down. Ate Moleni, the senior end on the tackle. Nice game for Reynolds. They say he runs downhill. You know, he's not a big kid, 6 foot 190, but he's pretty physical.
He's not a big kid, he's a tough kid, you know. And 190 may be generous, but you can't coach heart and you can't get heart in the weight room, and that's what this guy has. He puts his foot in the ground, makes one cut, gets north and south. He runs a lot bigger than he actually is, runs behind his pads, and he gets the job done. He's been the cog that makes this offense go the past 6 weeks.
He's averaged 95 yards per game this season. First down carry out to the 35-yard line. Blitz is coming. Hadley coming from the edge, and Bergquist's going to have to get rid of it. Good defensive play calling there. They had Bo Hadley coming in on a safety blitz, and that caused the quarterback to rush things a little bit.
No, he calls it the rush. You can see play action, kind of bobbles the snap a bit. This play was designed where it was a longer route. He needed more time. The blitz necessarily did not get there, but caused the quarterback to be rushed, throw a ball that he didn't want to throw, and thus brings up another down.
Bryce Scanlon in there at the point of attack, doing a good job from his nose guard position. Second down and 10. 2 receivers. Split left for Bergquist, takes a snap from under center. It's a pitch, It's Reynolds across the 40, breaks a tackle, and he's up to the 43. The thing about the kid is he gets hit and he doesn't go right down. He'll get you a couple extra yards. And a nice gain there.
You know, that's the thing that coaches love. You can't coach this type of stuff. You can coach him on his steps, coach him on his reads, but once he gets the ball in his hand, you can't coach this right here. Breaking tackles, it's called want to. It's called drive, and he's done it all year long, and he's doing it again today.
Ryan Galovic, the linebacker, on the tackle. There's a look at Reynolds' first 7 and last 6. He has been awesome. 233 yards in that first-round victory over Texas State last week. Had a couple touchdown runs, getting better as the season goes on. 3rd down and a couple. Toss sweep again. Flag is thrown. Reynolds has a first down up to the 48, but this one probably coming back.
Like it may be some holding on one of the big fellas up front.
Prior snap, false start. Offense, 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage. Replay 3rd down. Please reset the game clock to 4:06.
Well, those are costly for Coach Houck. He had a 3rd and a couple.
They are, and the big guys, they want to fire off that football. I'm sure it's one of the linemen. They're doing a great job. He's got to hold him there a little bit longer, wait for the snap to get off that ball. But lucky, only 5 yards, and the way they're running the football, they'll probably get it right back.
They have converted 44% of their 3rd downs this year. This is a 3rd and 7 at the 38. 3 receivers are split to the bottom of the screen here for Bergquist from the shotgun. Has time. Slant pattern, catch made. It's Palmer, and he has a first down into Weber State territory. They're going to mark his forward progress to the 48-yard line. Tyler Palmer, backup receiver, his 17th catch is a big target at 6'3".
Big target, good route, great ball by Bergquist. You see him step back, scan the field. Offensive line does a good job keeping bodies off of him, gives him a great throwing lane, delivers a great ball, comes through tough. This is what you like to see from your receiver. Just want to protect the football, make sure you don't fumble it. But Montana has a lot of gritty players on their team. They don't like to go down. They block well. They play to the whistle, and they're doing it again today.
First down for the Grizz at the Weber State 48. Flag again is thrown as Reynolds falls down near midfield. And it looks like motion again on Montana.
Prior snap, false start. Number 75 on the offense. 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage, first down.
That's Chris Dyke, the left tackle, junior from Dillon, Montana. One thing Weber State does, they'll crowd the line. They'll show a lot of different looks, and sometimes that can catch those guys off guard.
It can kind of confuse guys. If in offensive lineman lingo, they have what they call a tag block, where the tackle and the guard will both have one guy. And if your one guy all of a sudden turns into 2 men where you're supposed to go, it can confuse you a little bit, make you not think, move a little earlier. And Weber State does that to confuse you, and it worked right there on that play.
First and 15 now at their own 47. 5 men on the line this time. Bergquist under some pressure, stays in the pocket and gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, and that's it. Great contain that time. Derek Johnson, senior defensive tackle from Clearfield, Utah, kept him in the pocket.
And that's what they've got to do. They've got to get pressure on Montana. They could not let Bergquist sit back there, and they've got to find a way to slow this running attack down. Weber has to be very, very aggressive and active on defense to take Montana out of their rhythm. 8
seniors on defense for Weber State. Defensive coordinator Kevin Klein, and they were very good rushing the passer. 7 sacks against Montana in the first meeting. Passing down here, 2nd and 14. Split backs. Bergquist. And incomplete. He tried to get it to his fullback, and Bo Hadley blew that play up. It's intended for Donaldson, and Hadley was with him, and he delivered a shot.
He was with him and got a big shot on him. He kind of hung him out a little bit, but this is a play where everyone's covering. He throws to one of his outlet, one of his running backs, puts him out there a little high. Safety comes off, puts a nice shot on him. You don't want to leave your guys out there to dry. Luckily, he got up and walked that one off.
Well, Hadley is a good one. He has a 4.0 GPA to go with his success on the field. A big interception at Cal Poly, and a leader back there. Married, wife Ashley, mature junior from Taylor, Utah. 3rd down. Bergquist steps up in the pocket, downfield, and it is caught. It's hauled in. What a grab by Tyler Palmer. He stayed with it, and he took it away from a couple Wildcat defenders inside the 20.
Yeah, and you know what? Hey, that's a man route there. Tyler Palmer runs that route in the middle of the field, knowing he has high safety, knowing he's probably going to take a big shot, and Bergquist delivers a great ball, puts it over one defender's head, in front of the other one, drops it what they call in the bucket. Great concentration holding on to this football. This ball could have been picked off or fallen incomplete. Takes it off of the defender's shoulder. Great concentration.
Scotty Goodlow, the strong safety, trying to rip it out of there, but Palmer hung on. Big grab, and a first down at the 16. In motion, Mariani. Handoff, Reynolds. Straight ahead, and it's been tough between the tackles. Maybe a yard inside the 15, and that's it. As Scanlon and Johnson, the interior, 94 and 55, plug things up. There's Johnson. They have had some success running outside, but up the middle, not so much.
Not today, and that's their bread and butter. Like you said, Chase Reynolds is a downhill runner. He doesn't like to do a lot of east and west running. He likes to run north and south, and Weber State's done a good job clogging that middle and not letting him get started.
Look at the red zone offense. They've been very good, especially last week in their win over Texas State, as they converted 73%. 60% have been touchdowns. Here's a handoff, running left. It's Reynolds inside the 5 for the goal line. Is he in? No, he's inside the 1, and it'll be a first and goal from there. Hard running for the sophomore from Drummond, Montana.
You know, hard running, great blocking. Look at the offensive line up front. Look at them just move bodies, and watch Reynolds just pick his way down. And then when he smells that end zone, puts his pad level down. Not the biggest guy, but I told you he runs bigger. Big time heart, you can't coach it. Gets down there, he wants it. Drive the legs, get close to the end zone. Very tough, hard-nosed run.
Jeff Larson is split as a wideout, but this is Reynolds' time. School record 17 touchdowns. Does he get the ball right here? Bergquist. Reynolds. Touchdown, Montana. 2 turnovers for Weber State. 2 touchdowns for Montana. A short field. And then they make a longer drive count. And they're looking good here late in the first quarter.
And this is what Montana's been doing towards the end of the year. Their bread and butter, lining up, smash mouth football, mano-a-mano, running the ball down your throat with Chase Reynolds. He's been doing good. You see 18th rushing, new school record. Hey, this kid's off to a great, great game right now. If they can keep this up, Weber State's in trouble.
What a first-year impact, guy. He's a sophomore. Last year, special teams, wide receiver, limited action, just 10 games, a star in his second year. The extra point from McKnight is through there, and it's 14-0 Montana. Chase Reynolds, one of the great preps in Montana State history, getting it done at the football championship subdivision level. Montana looking good. You're watching the NCAA Division I football championships. 14-0 Montana. The Grizzlies getting a couple Weber State turnovers and cashing in on touchdown runs, first by Bergquist, the quarterback, then by Chase Reynolds. Small town Montana, and he is now in the record books. Look at that.
And rushing touchdowns, you know, are hard to get. I'm not taking anything away from receiving touchdowns, but when you're a guy that size and you can say you're the school record holder in rushing touchdowns, that's a big record. You know, this is a kid that rushed over 5,000 yards in high school and over 114 touchdowns. He knows how to get the job done.
Showing you that 8-man football, you can get it done at the next level. A short kick and returned by Weber State's Justin White to the 30-yard line. Turnovers a story so far.
No, turnovers have been a story, and this is how you shoot yourself in the foot. You see Cameron Higgins drop back, fumbles the football, and then you see he throws the ball tight end, fighting for yardage, getting upfield, turns the football over. You cannot do that and win football games. I don't care how good your offense is. I was watching an FBS football game last night. Ball State versus Buffalo. Ball State turns the football over 4 times. That high-powered offense they had couldn't even get started. When you turn the football over, you shoot yourself in the foot. That's what Weber State has done this afternoon.
They have moved the football, run and pass. They got to hang on to it, though. Higgins, plenty of time, great protection, downfield for Toon, and he overshoots him at the 32. And he appeared to be open for a moment. They got some safety help from Colt Anderson.
And you know what I'm looking at Higgins, his body language. He hasn't been comfortable in the pocket when passing. So he's been overshooting a couple of receivers because he's not setting up properly and looking downfield. He was surprised that he didn't have pressure, and he sees a streaking Toon, overthrows him. He has not been able to be comfortable in the pocket. Montana's done a great job crowding him, not necessarily sacking him, but crowding him, getting pressure, hitting him, and he has not settled down yet.
This time they'll go 3 receivers, Toon, Phillips, and Adewati. Split right. And you can hear the crowd noise. They make a lot of noise here at Washington Grizzly Stadium. Higgins, deep ball again, hangs it up for Toon this time. He can't come up with it. Good coverage by Andrew Swink. And they might be saying right now, hey, let's just air this thing out. We've been a good passing team all year.
You know, dangerous pass. Swink was underneath. They had safety up over the top. Very, very dangerous pass. Lucky that wasn't picked off. But Toon is their playmaker. They've got to find a way to get him isolated, get some one-on-one coverage. Because right now they're bracketing him. They're keeping a safety over the top. Trevor Smith has not been able to get loose like he wants in the running game, so they're able to bottle up Toon. They find him on the field. That's where the ball's going. Great defensive play by Montana.
They're 5th in the nation in passing offense, but they'll have to convert a 3rd and 10 to keep this drive going. Higgins, incomplete. He wanted Justin Schwartzbauer, a junior from Palmer, Alaska, a little bit low. Keep Thompson on the coverage. They'll have to punt it away.
Schwartzbauer could not get off of coverage. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, as a guy that played at every level, high school, college, professional, you got to tell your guys on 3rd down, you've got to win. On 3rd down, your receivers have to win. Do not get jammed. Do not get coverage. Someone has to win. And right now, the receivers for Weber State are not winning the battles, and the defenders for Montana are. Right now, there's nowhere for Higgins to go with the football. That's been their problem on offense.
Mike Snoy, a junior from Layton, Utah, standing back at his 15-yard line. Pressure on him, end-over-end kick. It's a dangerous Mariani at the 35 and tackled immediately. Good special team coverage that time from the Weber State Wildcats. Nick Webb, a freshman from Salt Lake, on the tackle.
You know, and you see the cockiness of Mariani on that play. No fair catch. He wants to run that back. Very explosive player.
And that will conclude our first quarter from Missoula. It has been a big day so far for Grizz Nation. Montana up 14-0. 14-0 Montana here in chilly Missoula. The Grizzlies looking good. A couple rushing touchdowns. They have 80 yards on the ground. They're the top rushing team in the Big Sky Conference. With 80 yards rushing already, 176 is their average for the year, and they've got the football at their 35-yard line after getting another defensive stop. 4 receivers. Reynolds in the backfield, and Chase gets the carry straight ahead, and he's up to the 42-yard line, 7 yards. The NCAA Division I Football Championship will conclude on ESPN2 HD on December 19th. Game coverage begins at 8 p.m. for a preview of every NCAA National Championship, including the 2008 NCAA Division I Football Championship. Go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Boy, this is fun, isn't it? Playoff football here in the FCS, and a great atmosphere, and this is about as good as it gets.
In the playoffs, it's simple: win or go home. You know, and to make the best team win. You didn't have to be the best team in the regular season, just be the best team in the playoffs today.
Now here's an end around, and Reynolds lined up as a receiver and gets the handoff that way and carries it for a couple yards to the 44. Ryan Galovic, the rover, on the tackle.
And they do a lot with him. Reynolds used to play wide receiver, so they can, you know, he's comfortable out there on the perimeter, but they like to line up and get the ball in his hands any way they can. They bring him around in motion, but he's a dangerous guy. However the football can get in his hands, Montana's going to do it.
See the numbers already. 51 in the first half. He has 6 straight 100-yard games heading into this one. 3rd down and a yard for the Grizzlies at their 44. High set. Lead back is Donaldson. Pitch to Reynolds, the second back through, and he has a 1st down up to the 46. And that's just hard running. There's nothing fancy about that, and that is the bread and butter, that little toss pitch to number 34.
No, they've got Reynolds listed at 195 pounds, and that may be very, very generous. He may be 185, 180, but I tell you, when he gets in between the tackles, I have not seen many backs his size run harder. He will not be stopped. He gets yak yards, and they call it yards after contact. He will not be stopped. 3rd and short, give the ball to him. It's going to be a 1st down.
1st down at the 47 for Montana. Controlling the line of scrimmage, rushing the football well. 3 receivers left for Bergquist this time. Pressure coming. Steps up. Now he's in some trouble, and he's sacked. Back at the 44. Brighton Barkdole, a junior from Kaysville, Utah. Their backup end behind Mullenny with a nice play.
They finally get to him and bring him down. You know, in their first meeting at Weber State, they got to him 7 times. You know, they have not been able to get a lot of pressure on him. But you see right now, good coverage downfield by Weber State secondary. He has nowhere to throw it, pulls it down. The front 4 give him nowhere to go, get pressure, bring him down for a sack. They've got to do that. They've got to do something to turn this momentum around and get some points on the board.
Barkdole goes hard on every snap. His older brother Shane played at Weber State. Makes it a 2nd and 13 now at the 44. Bergquist, slant pattern, throws it behind Palmer and incomplete. Let's take a look at the FCS bracket quarterfinal action today across the country. And under 10 minutes to go, and look at the Spiders trying to pull off the upset over App State.
That would be huge if they can get that win over Appy at Appy. You know, Monty Edwards, one of the best quarterbacks. I don't care what level you're playing. Very electrifying, but Richmond, my hometown in Virginia, does a great job right now against Appy.
Turnovers have been a big story there. Part of the reason Richmond's in front by 13. After the incompletion, 3rd down, 13 for the Grizz at their 44. 4 receivers this time. Weber State crowding the line, and some flags. One flag comes in from the near side, motion again.
Prior to snap, ball start. 66 on the offense, 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down.
And you know, you can be well-schooled and everything up front. There's Russum, the guilty party, but it can be kind of bother you, get in your head a little bit when you have all those guys up front coming after you.
You know, all that movement around sometimes it throws linemen off. Like I said, they may get a bit confused as to who they want to block, especially, you know, when they've already given up a sack. You kind of tighten up a little bit. You see a lot of guys jumping in and out of the A gap, B gap, C gap. You get a little nervous, makes you move a little early.
And right now they have 7 on the defensive front on a 3rd and 18. They're coming after him. Hadley on the blitz. Bergquist through the hands of his intended receiver, Mike Ferreter, and Weber State gets a much-needed stop on defense.
You know, it was a good job by the offensive line and an even better job by the running back. You see Chase Reynolds, you know, he steps up, finds this guy, scans, comes backside. Not pretty, but he does the job getting his hands on the safety and allowing the quarterback to throw the football. Those are the little things you have to do, but you have to convert. Your receiver has to bring that in and pick up the yardage to get a 1st down. Didn't get it done, now they're punting.
So they finally slow down the Grizzlies, and Ken Wood, a freshman from Spokane, punted away. See, as long as 74, he's been pretty consistent on the year in his first year, replacing an All-American Tyson Johnson punting, and he gets off a wobbler. Edawadi let it hit at the 15 and hits a Grizzly, and they'll down it at the 13-yard line. So Weber State has the football back, and they're trying to get their offense on track. One of the top offenses in FCS. No points so far. You're watching the NCAA Division I football championships. 14-0 Montana here in the 2nd quarter in Missoula in this FCS quarterfinal. How about Appalachian State, 3-time defending FCS champions? They have been awesome through the last few years. In 06, the rushing game key, a win over UMass. And then last year, you know about the win over Michigan, of course. And then the win over Delaware. Edwards, the quarterback, leading the charge, but this year they're in danger. Behind Richmond, 26-13. We'll keep you posted. Here's a handoff. And Weber State going on the ground with Trevin Smith, Colt Anderson on the tackle as he gets good yardage up to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, and right now with this high-powered as Weber State's offense is, they just need to settle down, find a way to score some points, go to Trevin Smith, run the football.
Look at that score, 235 rushing yards for the Spiders. They've also picked off Appalachian State 4 times, and they are on the cusp of pulling off a major upset.
Football has a lot of exotic offenses and defenses, but it boils down to you can run the football, protect the quarterback, and protect the football. You win football games. Appy hasn't done it. That's why they're down. 2nd down
and 4. Option game. They'll pitch it to Smith, and the Grizzlies stretch that play out, and they stuff it. No gain there, right at the 21-yard line, and good pursuit that time. Mike Stadnick, the senior from Saskatchewan, on the play. A couple guys north of the border on this Grizz team.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure the weather isn't that much different up there than it is down here. So the only thing different is the country they're playing in.
It might be a little bit colder, but you know when it's cold, right?
Oh, yeah. There's no difference between 5 degrees and 10 degrees. It's all cold, huh?
3rd and 4 here. It has been a dry day, though. No snow or rain thus far. 3rd and 4 from the 21. Higgins setting up a screen. Caught by Smith. Has a first down and more. Smith in the clear to the 45. He beats Anderson into Grizz territory. Smith to the 20. And finally cut down at the 17-yard line. Big catch by Trevin Smith. And the junior breaks one on a 3rd down conversion, and they're in the red zone.
And I'm telling you, this is what this guy can do. When he gets the ball in space, he makes people miss, and he's extremely dangerous. And then when he gets open field, he can wiggle and zig and zag his way through traffic. You see him set up blocks, cut back against the grain. You know, 2 guys are down, hopefully nothing serious. But Trevin Smith does a great job making people miss in space.
A couple of Grizzlies down after the play. One of them, Shan Schillinger right there, the junior free safety from Baker, Montana. And that was quite a collision as he cut back against the grain. But again, it shows Smith's ability as a receiver. I mean, he has 20 rushing touchdowns with 7 touchdown receptions. Does a lot of things well. We saw Schillinger, and I think that's Keith Thompson, the junior corner, injured as well. It is number 21. Well, Montana has a great tradition. 1995, FCS champs. 2001, their last title in Chattanooga at Finley Stadium against the Furman Paladins. Montana with Coach Joe Glenn. They get a touchdown run from Johannes Humphrey from 2 yards out in the 2nd quarter to take the lead. The quarterback pressure, great defense throughout. It was a defensive struggle. Furman quarterback Billy Napier under pressure all day. And the guys from Missoula took down the goalpost, and they celebrated in Chattanooga, 13-6 winners, their last national championship. First down after the big catch by Smith. Weber State on the march. Play fake by Higgins. Fires for the end zone, wants 2, and there is pass interference. He was tied up by Andrew Swink in the corner on the pattern, and that'll go against the defense.
Yeah, him and Swink have been going at it all afternoon. A little bit of contact. Swink finally got a bit too close, but threw the flag on him this time. Big play for Weber State. Gets him closer to the end zone.
You've got to respect Toon's speed. I mean, he really stretches things out. Bobby Hauck, that was one of the guys he was concerned with. On the edge. Not big, not a big kid. 5'10", about 165.
Holding. Number 3 on the defense. Half the distance from the original line of scrimmage. Penalty occurred during a forward pass on an eligible receiver. Carries automatic first down.
You know, they've been going at it, you know, the entire game. Tight coverage. This time Smith just got his coverage a bit too tight. Got the interference call.
First and goal from the 9. Handoff Smith, running behind Miley's block, inside the 5, keeps the legs churning, and he's down inside the 2-yard line. And it'll be a 2nd and goal from there. Marcus Miley, the senior, leading the charge, number 39, in front of Smith, and he is a load and really creates some space.
And you see right here, Miley finds through, kicks out. Smith does a great job cutting inside, getting north and south, and it's just tough running down here. And see who really wants it. He wants to get the football in there. Trevor Smith does a good job getting down there, getting them a little bit closer.
Best of the Big Sky, 84% in the red zone. You see the numbers there, 2nd and goal. I set, Miley and Smith. Smith drives for the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Weber State. They're on the board for the first time. Smith with his 21st rushing touchdown this year.
And this is what Trevin Smith can do. You see this drive, takes the little screen, takes it all the way down. Huge play. Then they turn around, hand the football to him, gets in there, gets the tough yardage. You know, good-sized kid, 5'9", over 200 pounds, can get the tough yardage in between the tackles, and he does just that.
Coming off a 137-yard effort against Cal Poly. And he has been tough near the goal line, and he does it again. John Williams, a sophomore, for the extra point, and the kick, a line drive, and it's through there, and it's 14-7. Great drive for Weber State. Higgins with the passing and the running. You're watching the NCAA Division I football championships. 14-7, Weber State gets on the board for the first time here in Missoula. In a very raucous Washington Grizzly Stadium, one of the great environments in college football. Trevin Smith with the touchdown run. He leads the nation in scoring at 12.5 points per game.
You know, that's a lot when it's not a quarterback that's leading in scoring. I mean, or a receiver that leads in scoring. You got a running back, and he can do it all. You know, whether he's catching the ball out of the backfield or running the football. And you saw on that last drive, he did it all on that drive. It was that he put the team on his back and got the job done.
First team all-conference 3 straight years. The league's rushing leader all 3 years. Williams kicks it away. It'll be Schulte from the 3-yard line for the Grizz. Across the 20 and tackled at the 23-yard line. Let's take a look now at some of the successful college football programs since 2000, and look at Montana, and there's some familiar names below them. It shows you the kind of success Coach Houck has had.
You know, and that's a great recruiting tool. If you're talking to a kid, you know, in the 12th grade, and he's looking to play college football Division I, and you say, look, you know, all we do here is win. You know, that's a great tool. You don't have to say anything else. You show them the rings, you show them the facilities, and then you say, hey, look, all we do is win. And actually, we won the most in Division I, more than Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida, Appy State.
Yep.
You know, it's a great recruiting tool here.
11-plus wins 4 of the last 5 seasons. He's reached the 12-win plateau 3 different times. You know, quite a program and great facilities here at Montana. First down from the 24-yard line for the Grizzlies. And now Bergquist doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to call timeout with the play clock down to 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't think he had the right people in on that play. You saw 28 came in motion, and Bergquist looked at the defense, didn't like the formation he had, and decides to call a timeout.
So they'll talk things over, and here's a look at what they've done the last 5 seasons. Now remember, they've won 6 straight Big Sky titles, 6 straight playoff trips. They've lost in the title game and also in a semifinal in the FCS, but
yeah.
Down year, you go 8-4.
2005, you know, they're 8-4. You know, that's a good year for a lot of football programs. But here, I'm sure they were upset about that year because they don't lose. You know, a 3-4 loss season is a bad season here in Montana, and that's what happens when you're so used to winning and you have guys on your team and your coaches. It starts from the top down. Your AD, everybody here, they have an atmosphere of success here, and they've done a good job perpetuating it.
Model program here in Missoula. First down from the 24 after the timeout. Handoff, and it's Andrew Schmidt who checks in for Reynolds. He gets his first carry, and the senior from Bozeman, Montana, takes it up to the 30-yard line, close to 6 yards right there. Schmidt, a guy that is carried it 94 times. He's a nice guy to bring off the bench. Has a couple touchdown runs this year.
You know, change of pace guy, a little bit bigger. You know, a little more physical runner, but I don't know how much more physical he can get than Reynolds. But you know, right now Reynolds on the sideline catching his breath, and they've got another guy in the game. Hopefully he gets the job done.
They leave Schmidt in at one of the setbacks next to Donaldson, the fullback in a 3-receiver set, 2nd and 4, just across the 30-yard line for Montana. Handoff Schmidt, a little delay, and he's cut down. Maybe a yard, and that's it. And that's a nice defensive play by Bryce Scanlon. Scanlon is one of the Utah transfers. He was recruited by Ron McBride, who was a redshirt freshman on that unbeaten team led by Urban Meyer, transferred to Weber State because he didn't want to play on the offensive line, and he's been a star on defense for Coach Mack.
You know, when you transfer down, you can play right away, so that's very attractive to a lot of guys who don't want to sit out a year. And Weber State found a great player, and he's come here and contributed and done a great job.
3rd down and 3. Single back this time for Bergquist. Has some time. In the flat, catch is made. It's the tight end, Thaler, and he has a first down up to the 48-yard line. Folsom bumps him out of bounds, but Steve Thaler, a big target. He's 6'5" and 250.
You know, big target, shows soft hands. You see him coming across right now. good time for Berquist. He finds him on the crossing route. They're playing man. The defender loses the big fella a little bit. I don't know how you lose a guy that big in man coverage, but Baylor gets open, catches the ball, moves the chains, and that's good because, hey, Weber State had a little bit of momentum, scored a touchdown. They were playing good on defense. They needed a big play, Montana did, to move the chains. They get it from Baylor.
Junior from Frenchtown, Montana. First down at the 48-yard line. 4-receiver look this time. Both offenses have mixed up their looks with different sets. Shotgun snap. Berquist down the middle, has a man open, and it's through the hands of Ferreter at the Weber State 15. He was open.
He had him right off the fingertips. He got behind the defender, had him beat. Berquist puts a catchable ball out there right off of the fingertips of Ferreter. Should have been hauled in. May want to lay out for that ball, son, but hey, they've got to catch. Those are the type of plays you have to make. You wish you could have that back, but hey, they're going to have to find another way. You've heard Mark Mariani's name a lot this afternoon, on the punt return, but they got to find a way to get him loose, get him open, and get the ball in his hands. He's very electrifying. He's been very quiet so far.
This time they'll go I set. Zambrano, the only wide receiver. Here's a handoff to Schmidt inside across midfield as a first down, and Morty breaks it to the 30. And knocked out of bounds to the 25-yard line. Sam North, the strong safety, finally got to him, but it looked like a short gain. He showed a little burst and took it to the outside for a big gain.
And Sam North for Weber State was on the short end of that. He got delivered a blow. This is a great run here. Bouncing off of defenders, getting upfield, shows good speed. That's how you finish a run. A lot of running backs just step out of bounds. They take a shot. He delivers a shot, and that's what you like to see your running backs do. Makes defensive backs think twice before they tackle you next time.
Schmidt coming off his best game, 145 yards. He had earlier in the year at Cal Poly. Here's a handoff straight ahead inside the 20, and he has a first down inside the 13-yard line. Between the tackles that time, and all of a sudden they're having some success with the guards, Dow and Hillisland doing a good job up front.
Schmidt is a little bit bigger, about 15, 20 pounds heavier than Reynolds, and a downhill guy. He just gets north and south, and with that size, he gets through there. And once he gets to the secondary, they don't want to tackle him. He breaks arm tackles. Got to put a hat and some pads on this kid. You cannot put your arm out to stop him. As you see, he runs right through him.
So Schmidt in for the sophomore Reynolds, who's had a big game. Here's a look at the red zone offense. It has not been good through the course of the year, but they've looked good so far, cashing in on a couple turnovers. On first down, handoff, Schmidt keeps the pile moving, and he drives it down close to the 6-yard line. I mean, there's 4 yards right there, and right now they've got some rhythm going, and the linemen starting to feed off that.
They've got some rhythm. I said the offensive linemen from the first series, they've been firing off the football, very aggressive run blocking, and right now this is their type of football game. Those big fellas up front, they love when their number's called in the huddle and they just get to line up and smash the guy in front of them. The best man wins. Running backs coming behind you downhill. They love this type of football game.
They have the size advantage. 323 at that right guard spot. Hillisland is their biggest. Weber State a little undersized on that defensive front. On 2nd and 5. Handoff, Schmidt in motion, and a flag is thrown as he takes it inside the 5-yard line. And I think they're going to get him maybe jumping prematurely on that move towards the football.
Let's see what our referees have for us. You may be right on that one.
It is motion, and penalties have been costly for Coach Houck's team, and this puts them in a tough spot. They were down near the goal line.
Illegal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage. 2nd down.
That's the 5th penalty against the Grizzlies.
And that's just an alignment deal. That's where someone doesn't know if their foot's supposed to be on the line or not. They're not on the line. The referee sees an uncovered man's going to call it.
Look at that. The Richmond Spiders pull off the upset. Did you see that one coming?
I did not see that one coming. Richmond has been playing good football all year, but I thought the athletes and Armonte Edwards with Appalachian State would have gotten the job done at home. Richmond goes in there, beats them at home, runs the ball down their throat, comes out with a W. Great job by the Spiders.
5 interceptions by that Richmond defense as they knock off the 3-time defending national champs. Here's a handoff. It's Schmidt running left, and he finds some room inside the 5, and he'll be a couple yards short of the first down on that carry on 2nd down. Schmidt has given him a nice burst off the bench, and a lineman down. It's Taryn Hillisland, the right guard.
He's giving him a good burst off the bench, but it's really not too much of a change of pace from what we saw from Chase Reynolds. One cut north and south, breaking arm tackles, tough running. Weber State's defense looks very, very tired right now, especially that front four.
We talked about the physical nature of Montana. Whatever it is, Weber State can get physical as well, but they really take pride in that. There's something about this team. They like the smash mouth style. It kind of fits the way they play football here.
I mean, the thing is that's how you win football games. It's cold outside. It's December. When your mascot is a grizzly, you can't be you can't be too too fancy with it. When your mascot is a big burly bear, that's what you bring that physical nature on the field, and that's they like to run downhill, smash people in the mouth, and move the pile. And they're doing a great job this afternoon.
Hill has led off on his own power. Montana, year in, year out, one of the powers in the football championship subdivision, leading here 14-7 over Weber State. The Wildcats getting on the board for the first time on a touchdown run by Trevin Smith, but the Grizz trying to answer. Big play here, 3rd and 3. Just inside the Wildcats' 5-yard line. Ferder and Sambrano to the right. In motion, the tight end, Bowden. Play fake by Bergquist. Throws it to Bowden. He makes the catch, but it looks like he's short the first down. Inside the 3. Tackle made by Hadley, and I think 4th down coming up.
They're going to go for it. I don't think there's any doubt in their mind with the way their offensive line has been blowing off the ball and moving Weber State's front four. They think Weber State right now is tired. They're going to go for it right here.
You saw him convert earlier on a 4th and 5 from the Weber State 35. They're 16 of 25 on 4th down conversions on the year, and this one is a 4th and 2. Donaldson in front of Schmidt in the eye. Bergquist hands it off. Schmidt hit at the line, driven sideways. Did he get there?
We'll see the spot.
See where the spot is.
Set the spot on this one. It didn't look good. They didn't get it.
Folsom was there, and they shut him down. On a 4th down, Coach Mack's defense steps up. J.D. Folsom, a senior, strong side linebacker with a big play. They turn him over on downs. Wildcats will get the football back when we come back. A big defensive stop keeps the momentum on Weber State's side. On a 4th and 2, the Andrew Schmidt run is stuffed. And the Wildcats have it near their own goal line here. First down from the 2. Higgins gonna throw out of there. Pump fake. Airs it out. He wants Toon downfield, and he can't come up with it near the 36-yard line. The run by Schmidt, and Weber State really stuffed it. It was a power game, and they turn him back.
And that's just a gut check play by Weber State's defense right there. It's either now or never. You had to stop them. They got the job done. Turnover on downs. That's when when your back's against the wall, make a play or don't make a play. They decided to make a play. Great time to do it.
Just look at what happened the first 3 possessions. They've righted themselves after that touchdown by Smith. Have a little swagger back now. Biff Swan and Folsom, the linebackers, coming up with a big play on 4th down. Now the offense will go to work. Try to run it left and not much doing. Just trying to create a little bit of space. Marcus Miley, the fullback. Schillinger was there.
I like the play call early. They go deep on the first play, but it's just great coverage by Montana. You can see right here, they try to get a little space. They get none. Montana swarms Weber State right now. Hey, they've got to move the football. You don't want to punt and give the football back to Montana with good field position, because they can score again. They need to make a play, move this ball.
Approaching the 3-minute mark. Toon split left. There's a look. They've been very good on 3rd downs because of their success throwing the football. 4-receiver set this time. Higgins from his end zone, over the middle. Edawati the catch, and a first down up to the 16-yard line. That is a big-time conversion right there. They keep the football. Sean Lebsack, the middle linebacker, on the tackle.
They've had problems moving the football in the air on the perimeter. And what I mean is their deep routes, their posts, their skinny posts. So they go to the middle of the field. Edawati, very quick, lightning-fast player, gets open, gets upfield, picks up the first down.
A little bit of breathing room now with 2:40 to go in the first half. Chance to get a touchdown and go into halftime in a tie game. Handoff Smith, and he's shut down at the line of scrimmage. They are really keyed on him right now. Jesse Carlson, there he is, the senior from Billings, Montana, stuffed him.
You know, they're keying on him big time. Like I said, he's the cog in this offense that makes them go. You saw him have the big screen play, takes it down, sets up the touchdown, he scores it. He makes a lot of plays. They can continue to bottle him up and make Cameron Higgins win it by themselves. It's going to be a longer afternoon, and they got a long field to work with. They're calling timeout now, but they've got to get some way to get some points on the board.
Couple timeouts remaining for Coach McBride. And he has to like how his team has bounced back from some adversity. You know, they did trail in their last matchup against Montana, 21-10 second quarter in Ogden, and kind of the same script here. You're down 14-0, nothing's going your way. You get a touchdown, and then the defense feeds off of that, and all of a sudden you can see the pendulum swinging the other way.
And I'm sure that Montana knows they've got to play 4 quarters against this football team. They can't jump out and get a 14-point lead and just kind of lay back. They've got to keep on playing because they understand this team here can score points and in a hurry.
All right, Montana, if they can advance, they are going to have a chance at least at winning another FCS championship with Appalachian State out. And there's your Marshall team, the Thundering Herd. What teams they've had through the years. You know,
I was fortunate enough to be a part of that '96 national championship team, but you know, Montana had beat us the previous year in 1995, and like I said, you know, you look at the names on that list, perennial teams that are always in it, constantly have good programs, and Montana's just kept up over the years. They have not dropped off yet.
23 straight winning seasons, a record 16 straight playoff trips. Higgins on second down, pump fake, going deep for Toon, near sideline, comes back to the football and makes the catch at the 48. Great play there in front of Swink, and you see that so often. The ball thrown short, and the receiver will come back.
You know, and that was just Toon right there. You know, he sees that he has the defender upfield. He knows the only way he can catch this football is off of his back shoulder. Great pirouette in the air. That catch would have been a catch at the NFL level. Both feet he brings down. I tell you, that's what you call winning. Your receivers have to win. He's been blanketed all afternoon. He makes a play. That's what you ask your receivers to do. Backs against the wall, make a play. He does just that, picks up huge yardage.
On the 48-yard line, Higgins to the air again. Steps up in the pocket and just gets rid of the football, threw it low at the feet of his intended receiver, the tight end, Nakamura. It's obvious that when they need a big play, Toon's the guy that Higgins looks for. He is a guy that actually had to re-recruit himself to Coach McBride when he left on a mission out of Peoria, Arizona. And he's obvious, you can see him with the long locks there. He's easy to spot. Higgins, sideline, and short of the intended receiver, Toon. That time, Swing with pretty good coverage. He had a chance at that one.
You know, Toon is the guy they're trying to go to. So right now, another receiver has to step up. The other receivers are getting man-to-man coverage. Toon is being bracketed. Someone has to step up. You got to win. I mean, as a wide receiver, you dream of having a guy like Toon opposite of you because you know all you're going to have is one corner on you. Very little safety help. Beat that man, you're open. Now they've got to beat him. Make a play, get open, catch the football, help your team out.
Toon split to the bottom of the screen with Edawati. Nakamura to the top with Phillips on 3rd and 10. Higgins going Phillips' way through his hands, incomplete at the Montana 39. Double coverage over there as Anderson was back. Colt, their leader at strong safety.
And Colt Anderson's a hard hitter, and Phillips knows that. He goes up for this pass, could have brought it in. Sure, he heard the footsteps coming, wanted to get down before he took that shot. Can't blame him. Anderson will knock your block off.
The 3-year starter, Mike Snoy, will try to pin him back here. He's put 17 inside the 20 this year. Mariani waiting for it back at the 14. Gets the kick away. It's a low, wobbling kick. Mariani comes up on it in the 22, and he's tackled immediately right there. You want to stay with us here from Missoula, Montana, coming up at halftime. A preview of the Big 12. A lot of talk about that matchup. FCS update as well, and first half highlights and stats. And we got a lot to talk about here in early December in college football.
It's been an exciting year on all levels, and right now is when the playoffs at the FCS level heat up. At the FBS level, the conference championships are coming. A big one in Atlanta, Georgia tonight. The Big 12 also this evening. This is the time of year when the picture starts to become a bit clearer to see who's going to be there at the end. And This is when football is very, very fun.
Washington Grizzly Stadium, Missoula, Montana, the site. FCS quarterfinal action. Alongside Doug Chapman, I'm Trey Bender. Two powerhouses this year in college football. Co-Big Sky Conference champions meeting for the second time this year. And Montana has the lead here in the first half. Bergquist on the carry. Quarterback keeper up to the 25-yard line. Approaching a minute to go. Here comes a late flag after the carry.
Bit of unsportsmanlike conduct, it looks like.
After the play, personal foul on both teams. Number 88, Montana. Number 31, Weber State. Those penalties offset. Second down.
Thaler and Galovic getting after it. 31 there.
You see him right there. You know, they're just going hard, and one guy throws a bit of a punch. And you think these two teams don't want to win this football game? You think they don't know the ramifications? If you lose, you go home. I doubt if there's a guy on either sideline, whether you're the first string or the fourth string guy, that does not want to win this football game today.
Well, Montana expects success. You know, Coach Houck said, you know, we expect to be in this position, but here's the new kid on the block. They've beaten him already, and they're trying to beat him for a second time. And here's a penalty flag on second down, and they blow the play dead.
Quarter snap, false start. 79 on the offense. 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage. Second down.
That has to be something they shore up at halftime. That is 6 penalties now against the Grizz.
Yeah, and it's starting all up in the front. Like the linemen are getting a bit confused as what's going on, and they're starting to get a lot of movement in there. And then they've got to shore that up. I'm sure the coach will definitely address that at halftime.
All right, you play it close to the vest here. 40 seconds to go. Second down. They're going to go from a shotgun formation on 2nd or 11. Weber State showing blitz. They'll hand it off. Getting to the edge, Reynolds, and he's cut down. Nice play that time on the edge from Weber State. And there's still some talking going on. Tyrell Lewis, the corner, on the play. Sets up a 3rd and long.
You know, good play because, you know, if he didn't bring him down, he had a little bit of real estate to work with. But right now, if you're Montana, just hold on to the football. They're going to let the clock run down. You know, go into the halftime, evaluate what you've done wrong, what you've done right, and Weber State has to do the same thing.
Well, kind of what we anticipated, a physical brand of football shown by Coach Houck's team, jumping out to the 14-0 lead, cashing in on a couple turnovers, but Weber State with the answer, getting a touchdown run from their star Trevin Smith, and we have a 14-7 game at the break. 2 proud programs, and it has been a fun quarterfinal so far. Bergquist got it started, 35-yard touchdown run, converting on a 4th and 5. And that was a big moment in time for the Grizz. And then on a 4th and short, again, the defense.
Yeah, the defense steps up. They stop Schmidt. You know, big momentum change. They had to have it. Weber State gets it done right there.
14-7, the Grizz in front of Wildcats at the break. Just the 3rd time Weber State has trailed at halftime. Montana in front 14-7 in this FCS quarterfinal matchup from Missoula. Matchup of Co-Big Sky champions here as we take a look at the FCS bracket, and a stunner already. The Richmond Spiders get big play from their defense in shocking Appalachian State.
Yeah, they forced a lot of turnovers from Appalachian State. Armonte Edwards, who does not throw interceptions, threw, I believe, 4 or 5 today. When you get that type of play from your quarterback, you know, you don't expect that from him, but that's going to cost you a football game.
Well, it's been an exciting year in the Big Sky Conference this year as we take a look at the first-team offense and look at the Weber State Wildcats that are on this list. We talk so much about Higgins and Smith and Toon, but, you know, Carpenter, a guy at that offensive line position at tackle, a senior from Scottsdale, Arizona, has been very good.
You know, you look and you see the, you know, they have their center there, they have their tackle there. You know, those are the guys that don't get all of the press clippings. You don't get to see them on the highlights, but those are the guys that open up holes for the Trevin Smiths, and they protect the Cameron Higgins. And you see those guys at the top of that list. They couldn't do that without those guys up front, and you can see how good that team is across the board.
And defensively, we've seen some big defensive plays so far in this one. Scanlon at Weber State is a load, and they have several first-team players as well. Colt Anderson, though, is a special player. He's the leader of that Montana secondary there at the bottom.
You know, he is, and he's a guy you have to scheme for. You have to know where he is at all times. And both of these teams have a lot of talent on both sides of the football, and we're not the only ones that notice it when it comes down to accolades. That, you know, the guys who give out the awards see it too, and it equals and it equates wins. When you have that many guys on your all-conference teams, 9 times out of 10, your team's going to be in the playoffs, which both of these teams are.
Traditionally, this is a pass-happy conference. I mean, we see a lot of yards through the air, through the years, but you're seeing a more well-rounded in terms of teams rushing the football, whether it be Chase Reynolds at Montana or Smith at Weber State. There's good balance, and that really keeps these defenses off balance.
And Montana, you know, historically has been a team that's going to throw the football 45 to 50 times a game, but, you know, they have evolved into a running school, a running program now, as you say, at the running back position. Both of these schools, they can pass it now, but they have very capable running backs that have been getting the job done as of late.
We have a picturesque setting here. That is Mount Sentinel in Missoula, Montana. A chilly day, but some fans enjoying football outside the stadium here in western Montana. There have been some big plays so far in the first half, and Weber State hoping to get more from Tim Toon, their star receiver. Big catch here. His team down 7 at the break. (14-7) our halftime score here in the FCS quarterfinal from Missoula, Montana. Two teams that know each other well from the Big Sky Conference. Let's take a look at the first half highlights, and the stars were the running backs.
You know, my favorite position on the field, the call that makes the offense go. You see Trevor Smith, he gets the screen, and he makes guys miss. He zigs, he zags, he weaves, he works his way down. That's the type of plays he's made all year. That's why he's an all-conference selection. Then you see later on, they get down to the 4-yard line. Mr. Smith takes it in, stretches it out, 6 points, Weber State.
And here is the running of Chase Reynolds. Physical,
you see him dragging defenders, taking them down to the 1. Physical running, big-time football, and he takes it in, goes in, standing up, puts Montana up.
A look at the first half stats. There's the rushing yardage. That's what the Grizz do well, but Higgins has started to fine-tune, and by finding Toon so far in the first half of the passing game. You know,
great catch by Toon on the sideline, turns around, pirouettes, catches the ball, gets his feet down in bounds. Hey, they've got to find a way to get the ball in his hands, find a way to get him open. Him and Higgins, I'm sure, in the locker room right now working on plays that they can go over so they can isolate him, get him open, make some big plays. They got to put some points on the board. It's win or go home.
The Grizz cash in on those 2 turnovers right there. Key plays, turnovers early on.
You know, you see Higgins right here. He drops back, ball comes out of his hand, turns it over, gets a little pressure, but he throws to his tight end. His tight end gets him fighting for yards. Knee may have been down. Doesn't matter. There's no replay. Puts the ball on the ground, turns the ball back over. And then the big play for Weber State. They stuff Reynolds down here at the 1 on 4th down, get a turnover, because that would have been a backbreaker had Montana scored another touchdown.
They kept the momentum on the Wildcats side. We have a 14-7 game at the break. The winner will move on to the national semifinals in FCS. We're at halftime, Montana by 7. 14-7, Montana in front as we get ready for the start to the third quarter. Time to revisit the keys to the game, and for Coach McBride and Weber State, you know, the turnovers were costly.
Turnovers were costly, and they led to points, and that's what they could not afford to do, was turn the football over in field position battle. You know, they came in, they gave the ball to Montana, they gave the ball back to Montana with good field position. When they turned the ball over, Montana was able to capitalize. And you see right now, and Higgins had 165 yards. He had most of it on a 1 big pass play to Toon, but he's got to find a way to get in the rhythm. He's a big-time player for 4,200 yards in 13 games. He's been kind of quiet for him. He's got to get started. And then you see from Montana the home field advantage. Like I said, 8-0 earlier in quarterfinal games. They do not lose here. But Mark Mariani, they've got to find a way to get the ball in his hands besides him catching punts. You have not heard his name a lot. He's been quiet. I'm not sure if Weber State's doing a great job scheming, but they've kept him quiet in the first half. I'm sure he wants to get the ball in his hand in the second half.
And the Wildcats haven't won here since 1987. Of course, when you talk about Appalachian State and their loss today, their quarterback really suffered through a tough day. Mr. Edwards, and it's hard to believe they're not in the race anymore for a national title.
You know, this guy here is Mr. Electric. I used to love watching him play. He can do it all. Very precise passer. When he runs, it's like he's in fast forward and everyone else is in pause. He makes people miss, makes big plays. But today, University of Richmond did a great job scheming for him, and they got the job done at Appalachian State.
The top passer rating in the FCS, all those numbers, but he is a finalist for the Walter Payton Award and may still get it. Rodney Landers, Herb Donaldson, We talked about the quarterback for Weber State, Cameron Higgins, only being a sophomore, but these guys have just put just phenomenal numbers on the board this year.
Phenomenal numbers, and you see, you know, Armani Edwards, he's a guy that's been doing it for years. He's 2-3 years. He's been doing it. They know he's coming. He's got over 10,000 career, all-purpose yards. You look at that, 39 total touchdowns from your quarterback, 3,500 yards in the season. I mean, I don't know how you can't have a guy like that on the top of your Walter Payton Award finalist list.
Led the Mountaineers in rushing, 7th in the FCS in total offense at over 293 yards per game, but his team ousted today in the quarterfinals by the Richmond Spiders. They're enjoying this game from a lot of different places, in establishments in Missoula, on the hill at Mount Sentinel, and in the stadium. Great setting here, Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula. And Bergquist and company with a 14-7 lead. You know, they really seized the momentum out of the gate, but you can sense that Weber State has some confidence now, down only 14-7.
Now, when you're an offensive juggernaut like Weber State is, you don't panic when you're only down 14-0 in the first quarter, because you know you can score 14 points in 5 minutes. They've got the tools. They just have been out of sync on offense. They've got to find a way to settle down, do what they've been doing, find a way to keep running with Trevin Smith, get Cameron Higgins open. They'll be fine. One
of the difference makers for the Grizz, that guy right there, Mark Mariani. Fastest on the team, first team all conference. Look at what he's done through the course of his season, and today they have held him in check. He has been a marked man.
Mark Mariani, marked man, exactly. I'm sure, there's been a game plan for a guy like that. I played with a guy named Randy Moss in college and in the pros, and every time we walked in the field, teams knew where he was. They game planned for him. He just has to find a way to get open, make plays. The coaching staff has to isolate him, get one-on-one coverage, because when he has the football in his hand, he's extremely electrifying.
Guy with over 1,000 yards receiving this year for Montana, 5th best in school history. And he had 208 yards receiving in a victory against Southern Utah, and is capable of lighting defenses up pretty quickly.
Yes, he can, and he does it all. They've done a good job also bottling him up in the punt return side of it. He doesn't like to fair catch it. He wants to run it back. I think he's one of the leaders, or the leader in FCS in punt return yardage. He's bringing it back 18 yards of return. That's astounding, along with his prowess as a wide receiver. So he gets it done. They have to find a way to get him open, get him in space. He'll make plays.
Well, that's one of the guys that Coach Houck really relies on. In talking to the coach, he says he gives much of his credit for the way he does things to Terry Donahue and Don James, two familiar guys in the coaching ranks at UCLA and Washington, and also his coach Don Reed here at Montana when he was a player. But it's hard to argue with his success. He has this program among the elite in college football. They're going to get the football first, as John Williams, the sophomore from San Diego, has it teed up as we get ready for the second half. 14-7 Montana, and we're underway here in the third quarter. And stumbling with it is Javen Sambrano, and he brings it across the 20, and he's gang tackled there. Leading the charge, Jonathan Caraway, a senior from New Orleans, on the tackle. Well, let's see if Montana can get some of that swagger back that they had early. Cole Bergquist, numbers that aren't going to jump out at you, but he can hurt you in the running game as well.
He does a good job managing the game. They've got a great running attack. They don't ask Bergquist to do too much when it comes to passing the football, but as long as he doesn't turn it over, makes smart throws, pulls it down. You saw him on a 35-yard touchdown scamper. Just play smart football from the quarterback position. Don't do it all by yourself, but when we actually make a play, please make one.
Yeah, they don't put him in tough situations. Only 7 picks this year for Bergquist, the senior. They'll start from the 20 as we're underway in the third quarter. Handoff. Reynolds gashes one across the 30. Runs over somebody at the 40-yard line, and that's 21 yards on first down for the sophomore.
Hey, I'm not sure if he's got a set of weights or something underneath his shoulder pads. So this kid runs a lot bigger than 190 pounds. You see him get out in space, and all right, he makes his cut up field, reads his block, and right now, just deliver, just get off of me. Stiff arms the guy to the ground. Tough running, yards after contact. He's right back where he left off in the first half.
That's like swinging an anvil out there. You don't want to get in front of that kid, and he has been very impressive here on the ground for the Grizz. Going to get his number called again, running right. Hit, moves forward, and up to the 45-yard line, close to 4 yards on that carry. A little pushing and shoving going on away from the play, as well as Mariani got into it with Josh Morris, the cornerback.
Yeah, he gets into, I'm sure Mariani's a little bit, frustrated right now. He wants to get some balls thrown his way. And I'm sure that the defenders are letting him know that he hasn't caught many, 1 for -1 yard. So he's got to settle down. But right now, Chase Reynolds is doing a great job.
13 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown for Reynolds. 2nd down and 6 at the 45. We'll go with a shotgun look this time. Fake it to Reynolds. Bergquist going to keep it. And a couple yards, and that's it. Good recognition that time. Ryan Galovic was in there, the linebacker. Their linebackers are active, and they did a nice job on that goal line stand, but they can move pretty quickly side to side.
And they have to. And one thing Weber State, wants to do is they want to play fast. They have to be there. They know that Montana likes to run the football, so they have to be in the gap when the running back gets there. They do a good job, and when they go side to side, the linebackers do a great job flowing and filling the gaps, making plays for this Weber State defense.
Galovic, Swan, Folsom, 3 seniors, 8 seniors on this Weber State defense. 3rd down and 3. Showing blitz. Galovic on the blitz. Bergquist over the middle, and a catch made for a 1st down. Ferreter with the grab at the 45. He is a sure-handed guy and their leader, and he moves the chains.
Great play right there. Great catch by Ferreter. Bergquist stays in there, sees 2 guys in his face, hangs in there, delivers a nice football. Like I said, his numbers today aren't going to wow you, but this is what he does. He makes smart plays when his team needs him to, and he helps move the chains.
Look at the tight end, Thaler, who had a catch. He's on the line of scrimmage. They'll go 2-receiver look to the left side from the Wildcats' 46-yard line. Under center this time. Handed off to Reynolds. Slanting left inside the 40. And close to 7 yards on that carry. Swan over there along with Galovic. But they're getting a great surge up front from the big guys.
When you can pick up 7 yards on 1st down, that's an offensive coordinator's dream come true. 2nd and 3, the playbook is wide open. The offensive line is just moving Weber State off of the football. They're getting stronger as the game goes on, and Reynolds is getting right behind him. Pad level low, north and south, picking up good yardage.
You saw him double team the first team all-conference guy Scanlon on that last play, and the numbers looking good for Reynolds. He nears the century mark here early in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 3 from the 39. Bergquist knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Nice play by Kevin Linehan. And we have not called his name often, but he is their leader with 10.5 sacks and a big guy at 6'3", 255.
Yeah, the junior gets his big paw up there, and they tell you, the defensive line, if you can't get to the quarterback, get those hands up, bat the ball down. That's exactly what Linehan does right there.
Quick feet and hands, that's a big plus for him. He's also one of the stronger Wildcats. And he makes this a 3rd down now from the 39. Could be 4 down territory. Mariani split to the top of the screen. Palmer to the bottom. They'll send Ferreter in motion. Pressure coming on Bergquist. He steps away from it. Now he'll try to run for the 1st down, and he's close. I don't know. It was Barkdole, the end from the backside, that pulled him down, and this is going to be close. It looks like he's a little bit short.
Looks like he may have it.
No, looks like a yard short.
You think they're gonna? No, they didn't even bring the sticks out. They're just gonna say 4th down. It looks close from up here, but I guess the refs has a better eye than we do.
Well, they're going to mark it at the 37. The initial spot looked like it was closer to the 36, but you look at the far side there, they need a full yard, it appears, on 4th and 1, and there's no hesitation. They're going to go here.
Oh, go for it. The way your offensive line has been moving Weber State's defensive line, the way how hard your running backs have been running, turn around, simple football, hand it to your running back, 1st down.
Guess who? Chase Reynolds hit, drives forward, and this will be close at the 36. That was a great tackle by J.D. Folsom, who was big down near the goal line on that stop. Did he get it? They're going to bring the sticks out from the far side.
Now you see Reynolds get it off tackle, nothing fancy. Gets in there, great hit. But once again, Reynolds keeps right on going. Folsom puts the pads on him, but Reynolds keeps right on going. May have picked up the 1st down.
Folsom, the senior, with a textbook tackle right there, but looks like he got enough for the 1st down as they stretch it out. He did by the length of the football plus, and Montana keeps the football. Tell you what, they've been tough in short yardage on defense, but Montana slugs it out.
Nice tough run by Reynolds, picking up the short yardage. That's what you want out of your back. It doesn't have to be pretty all the time. We ask you to get a 1/2 yard, give us a yard. He moves the chains, keeps his team alive, fresh set of downs to work with.
Coach Houck, a Montana guy, played football here, got his master's from UCLA, coached with Rick Neuheisel, and has developed a winning tradition here year in and year out. First down at the 35. Bergquist hands it off to Reynolds, escapes the tackler Schwann, he's to the 30. Drives forward for a first down to the 24-yard line. He got away from Biff Swan, who almost had him for a loss, and he turns it into an 11-yard gain.
Look at the blocking downfield, by Stephen Thaler and the other wide receivers. And just watch Reynolds just pick his way, stiff arm a guy, make a guy miss, and the receivers just blocking downfield, giving their running back lanes to work with. That's football right there. When you've got everybody working on the same page, even if you're not getting the ball, you're helping the guy that has the ball. And Chase Reynolds does the rest, finds the seams, gets north and south, and moves the chains.
Cole Hadley on the tackle, but 11 yards to the 24-yard line. Ferreter and Palmer split left. They're going to run right. And here's Reynolds, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And it is getting physical down there. Not that it wasn't at the outset. You look at what Reynolds has done today, and look at what he's done over the last 6. After his 7th consecutive 100-yard game, and running at best in the playoffs against Texas State.
And that's when it counts, man. It's December. This is when you have to be able to run the football. It's cold. You have to be able to control the clock, and that's what you ask your running back to do. And he's gotten stronger as the year has gotten longer.
He has hit the century mark, right at it. 17 carries, 100 yards, and the touchdown run. And it's second down, and 9 yards to go here. Play fake for Bergquist. Plenty of time, and he overshoots his tight end. He had Steve Thaler wide open, and he missed him.
He had Thaler open. I'm telling you, they are doubling Mariani. Wherever he is, he's got 2 white jerseys on him at all time. So other guys have got to step up, check the ball down. Looks for Thaler, but he missed him.
Well, here we go, 3rd and 10. Big play for the Weber State defense. We are in Missoula, Washington Grizzly Stadium, FCS quarterfinal matchup. Co-Big Sky champion squaring off for the 2nd time this year. Alongside Doug Chapman, I'm Trey Bender. This has been everything we anticipated. A hard-fought, close battle, a physical battle. Montana, 11th play of this drive. Quarterback keeper on 3rd and long. They play it conservatively, and Bergquist takes it down to the 21. They'll bring the kicking team out there.
They play it conservatively, just try to pick up a couple more yards, make it a more makeable kick for their field goal kicker, and try to get this 3 points on the board to extend their lead.
So we will see the first from Brody McKnight here on a field goal attempt. He is 8 of 13. His long is 46. Out of the hold of Jeff Larson. On a 39-yarder from the right hash for McKnight. From Vancouver, British Columbia, trying to add to the lead. Bit of a high snap. Kick on the way. He nails it. Brody McKnight extends Coach Houck's lead to 10 at the 8:24 mark here in the 3rd quarter. 17-7, Montana in front here in this FCS quarterfinal matchup from Missoula. The coach with the reaction. You're watching the NCAA Division I football championships. Coverage of the NCAA Division I football championship is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. From Missoula, Montana, FCS quarterfinal action, and Cole Bergquist on that last run may have been shaken up a little bit as you see his backup Andrew Sell to the left, number 12.
You see him wincing a little bit, kind of moving his hands around. Not sure exactly if it's a shoulder or a hand, but that's the thing you have to be careful about when your quarterback scrambles, is him taking shots like this. You see him pull it down, he gets in there, and you can't tell him, man, falling on something. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, because they cannot afford to lose him right now.
He really makes this team go from a leadership standpoint, too, not just the numbers, as Brody McKnight kicks it away after connecting on the field goal. Etowati from the 2-yard line. The speedster across the 25, and he's hit right in the mouth and dropped at the 27. Big time hit by Donnie Lasowski, a freshman from Seattle. So Higgins and the Wildcats will go to work. Just 1 touchdown so far. You see the numbers there, but he is capable of just lighting people up. He had 399 yards passing in the win at Cal Poly.
You know, and Cameron Higgins has to wake up right now. It's now or never. I'm going to say it one last time. It's win or go home. I'm sure they know that. It's third quarter. They're down by 10 at their own 25, 26-yard line. They have to make some plays.
Riley and Smith in the backfield. Higgins overshoots Toon on a down and out pattern near the 32-yard line.
You know, he just seems a bit off today. His throws just seem a bit off the mark, a bit long or a bit short. You see him just miss the mark right there. I'm not sure if it's because of the early pressure or if he's just not on the same page right now with his receivers.
He has had some big games, second in the nation in pass efficiency this year. Shown the ability to run away from pressure. It hasn't been the pressure, it's just been just haven't been on the same page. The throws just haven't been there. Second and 10. Receiver look this time. Changing it up at the line. Play clock is down to 2 as he takes a snap. Draw. Smith and the Grizzlies ready for it. Maybe got a couple yards. And that's it. Jesse Carlson, defensive tackle in there.
And Montana does a great job snipping that one out. You know, Weber State has to get something out of this drive. They can't go 3 and out right now. Montana has the momentum. They'll get good field position once again if they force Weber State to punt. Weber State has got to dial up some plays right now to move the chains.
Let's see what Coach Mack has in his bag of tricks here on 3rd and 8. Tune to the top. 3 receivers right to the bottom of the screen. Here comes the pressure. Higgins stands in and delivers, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Cole Anderson at the 41-yard line. And one of the top players in FCS turns the tables on the Wildcats.
And that's one of your playmakers. He makes big plays in big games, and he just comes up there. You have to know where he is at all times. He's a ball hawk. He will find the ball, but they bring the blitz. You see them bring the blitz. That means it's going to be man coverage. When you bring the blitz, it's man coverage. Hey, you got to get open as a receiver. You got to throw a better ball than that, Cameron Higgins. He throws it. Great play by Cole Anderson. Lays out, gets the interception. Huge play for Montana.
2-time first-team all-conference, 3-year starter at that strong safety spot. Their defensive captain. And he sets him up in good shape. 2 turnovers in the first half by the Wildcats and a costly one here in the 3rd quarter. And Cole Bergquist will stay in at the quarterback position. Hands it off to Reynolds, and Reynolds is hit right away, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Eric Johnson, the defensive tackle, met him at the line of scrimmage. Update of the bracket in FCS. James Madison, top seed, off to a quick start.
That's what you're supposed to do. When you're the #1 seed, you have to play like it. They come in the #1 seed against Villanova, and right now, 7-0 early in that ball game.
And the winner of this game will face the winner of James Madison Villanova. If Villanova should win, Montana would be playing a home game here in the next round. There's a look at the takeaways. That was one of the keys to the game. Coach McBride said they can't turn it over, but they have, and it's been costly. 2nd down. Hand off to Reynolds, trying to get to the edge. Turns the corner, and he's down to the Wildcats' 36-yard line. They've tried to get him the ball in different spots, lining up on the outside at kind of a in-motion type thing you'd see normally handed off to a wide receiver.
I think what they try to do is they try to spread out the field with their alignment. They try to spread the defense with their offensive alignment, and it creates natural running lanes. You give a good runner like Chase Reynolds the ball, let him pick a seam and get north and south. They've done a good job. They contained it. He hasn't had a huge run out of it, but you see right there, picks up 4 or 5 yards on that play. You know, with a guy like him with the ball in his hand, anything can happen, so they try to get it to him the best way they can.
This time they take their tight end, Overton, and they line him up, split out to the left side on 3rd and 4. Bergquist is pressured. He steps up in the pocket. Flag is thrown. He's going to take off with the football. Has the first down easily inside the 25 and run out of bounds by Hadley on the 22. This could be coming back. Holding on the Grizz, and that is now 7 penalties against this Montana team.
And you know, they're winning the football game, and whether they win or lose, you know, if they get out here with a win, coach will not be happy with that.
Holding. 72 on the offense. 10 yards from the original line of scrimmage. Replay 3rd down.
Levi Horn, their left tackle.
You know, and the further you get in these playoffs, you know, the more things tighten down. You can't afford to turn the ball over. You know, at the next level, at the next phase, you can't afford to have that many penalties because they will cost you football games. And right now, it hasn't hurt Montana as much, but I'm sure that the coaching staff is not happy with what's going on right now.
This puts them in a tough spot, 3rd and 14. Let's see if Weber State tries to bring some pressure here and get after Bergquist. They've had success getting some pressure on him in the pass. 3rd and 14. They drop back. Bergquist all kinds of time in the pocket. Now he's going to try to run. Escapes one man, and he's knocked out of bounds to the 36-yard line. Now that brings up a 4th down, but because of that run, it might put them in a position to think about going for it here.
Yeah, I don't think they want to kick. It's kind of a long kick right now, so they may try to go for this 4th and I'd say about 5 yards. Looks like they may try to go for this.
A good rushing quarterback was shaken up on the last drive, and they will bring the punt team out there, and they actually have Bergquist in as the punter. So watch this. He is standing in as the punter at the 48-yard line. It looks like a punt formation.
Maybe a quick kick coming, or he sees something, may raise it and throw it.
He's in punt formation, but this is the quarterback standing at the midfield stripe for Montana. Takes the snap, and he will punt it away. Spiraling kick. Edawadi let it hit. It hits near the goal line. Did they keep it in? Nope, touchback. Weber State will get it at the 20-yard line. So Bergquist standing in as the punter for Ken Wood. Weber State has the football back, trailing by just 10 here in the 3rd quarter. (17-7) Montana. Weber State, one of the top offenses in FCS. They have been stymied. The NCAA Division I Football Championship will conclude on ESPN2 HD on December 19th. Game coverage starts at 8 for a preview of every NCAA National Championship, including the 2008 NCAA Division I Football Championship. Go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Wildcats get a defensive stop. They have the football after the touchback. They'll start from the 20. Smith running right. Good yardage that time, close to the 25-yard line. Lebsock, the middle linebacker, on the tackle. Haven't had a lot of success running the ball with Smith of late.
They haven't, and it's a good play by the cornerback, number 21, Thompson. He falls back inside, and it makes the play on Trevin Smith.
Here's a look at what he has done today. He's a threat out of the backfield, catching the football, that big gainer, and then the touchdown run to cap it off for their only score today. 2nd and 5. Miley with Smith in the backfield. Higgins sips it over the middle. Toon has it and has a 1st down to the 32-yard line. That ball delivered with some confidence. He put it right on the money.
And that's the Cameron Higgins you're used to seeing, making a quick decision, nice precision pass, putting it right on his receiver. Toon making the catch, and they move the chains. That's what I've seen from Cameron Higgins all year, and that's what I'm sure Weber State is waiting to see from him this afternoon.
There you see the interception, trying to shake that one off as it was picked off by Anderson. Good first half, not great, but he's capable of breaking out and putting together some big numbers in a hurry. Here's a handoff to Smith running left, and he's up to the 39-yard line. That's close to 6 yards. You get 4, 5, 6 yards. Anderson on that last tackle.
You know, you see he just gets the ball, nothing fancy, finds a hole, gets nice and low, pad level low, and just picks up yards. Keeps his legs churning, pad level low, picks up 4, 5, 6 yards on 1st down. If you're an offensive coordinator, you cannot ask for anything more out of your running back.
42 yards on the ground for Smith. He has 9 100-yard games this season. Higgins to throw. Toon with the catch in the flat, and he has a 1st down to 45. Here's what they can do. We saw him go deep in the passing game vertically, but they can also beat you with this possession passing game. They're effective with Toon in that way as well.
No, and earlier in the game, they seemed they were locked and loaded and going deep, and now they're being more patient. They're working the slants, the little screens, mixing it up with the run. These are the type of drives that Weber State has put together all year long. They're settling down on offense, and they're starting to move the ball a little better now.
3 catches, 59 yards for Toon. Fresh set of downs to the 45. Higgins with the pump fake. Now he'll just throw it away. He pump faked once to Smith, tried to go the 2nd time, and nothing was available, just got rid of it.
You know, they had man coverage, and I think he wanted Smith to turn up the field, kind of like a wheel route on that. He pumps him in the flats. There was nothing there. He looks away, looks back. I think he may have wanted Trevor Smith to turn up and go up the sideline. Miscommunication, smartly throws it away instead of throwing a bad ball.
Trevin Smith, married, has a 1-year-old daughter. One of seasoned guys here, older kids have gone on missions. Smith is a junior at that running back position. 3 receivers left. And keeping it this time is Higgins. He fooled everybody, and he has a 1st down. And he runs out of bounds, has the 1st down inside the 45-yard line. Great play fake to the running back Smith that time.
And the thing is out of that offense, a lot of people don't know that the quarterback knows if he's going to keep it. The running back does not always know if he's going to get it. You can see Trevin Smith right there. He thought he was getting that football. They kind of, you know, mashed up against each other a little bit. But the quarterback, when he gets a certain read, he's going to pull it out. He gets the read, pulls it out, picks up the yardage. Great play by Cameron Higgins.
Edawati and Tune the receivers. Single back this time, Smith. From the 45. Gets the football straight ahead. Has some room. 40. First down and more. He's inside the 30 and breaks free. 20-yard line. And all the way to the Montana 15. Trevin Smith, 30 yards and a first down.
You know, and this is what he does. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy right here, he makes plays. You see him at the line of scrimmage. This is what you call a jump cut. He makes a jump cut, goes from the A gap, jumps to the C gap, gets in the secondary, and he's hard to bring down, has guys twisting and turning. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Barry Sanders when he gets in the secondary. He has guys completely turned around. They don't know which way he's going to go. He's very hard to bring down, very slippery. Great run by Trevin Smith.
Keith Thompson finally tracked him down, but a big gain to the 15. This time, Edawati will loop in motion behind the backfield. Higgins is going to run option. Pitches and nobody there. That's an incomplete pass. I think he expected Smith to be there. Instead, he flipped it to the backside of his guard, Nahi.
I see the design. They wanted to give the look of the option, but what they wanted was the shovel pass to Trevin Smith underneath. He didn't get over in time, and the ball ended up hitting one of the linemen. It's just an incomplete pass. They get delivered to fight another down.
Well, they're throwing a lot of different looks right now at this Montana defense. Some option, short passing game, and Coach McBride trying to keep them on their heels here. 2nd and 10. Here's what they've done in the red zone. They have been awesome. Tops in the conference. Higgins out of backfield. Smith hit. Good open field tackle that time made by Keith Thompson.
You know, and they've got to find another weapon. Trevin Smith is getting the job done for them. Somebody else has to make some plays. Montana sniffs it out. They know they see the football where it's going. Great open field tackle and someone that's very, very hard to tackle. Great play by Keith Thompson.
No gain, 3rd and 10 from the 15. And the Grizz Nation starting to make some noise here in Missoula. Higgins over the middle, incomplete. He wanted his tight end Nakamura. It was broken up. It was thrown low, but Lebsock with good position.
It was thrown low. The tight end may have came and gets a little too far in. You know, they showed blitz. They back off at the last minute. They had a window in the zone, but he came inside just a bit too much close to that safety. They almost had that one.
So they'll bring the kicking team out to try to make this a one-score game. John Williams, sophomore from San Diego, 8 of 11 on the year. Under the hold of Brendan Doyle, the backup quarterback, 32-yarder. And the kick is good. Nice drive by Weber State, and they get 3 points out of it. And it's now a 17-10 game late in the 3rd quarter. Each team with a field goal, and Coach Mack liking that drive. You're watching the NCAA Division I Football Championships. (17-10), Weber State puts together a long drive, and they get a field goal out of it to make it a 7-point game in the 3rd quarter. We update the FCS brackets quarterfinal action. James Madison, not surprising to a lot of people, the #1 seed.
You know, #1 seed. Mickey Matthews, the head coach there. I played for him at Marshall. You know, went down to Georgia. He's a great coach, and he's done a great job with that program, getting them back on the map. And they won a national title a couple years ago, and right now they're in position that they have a chance to win another one.
And the winner will face the winner of this game. As you look at the updated FCS all-time playoff wins, Montana and Coach Houck, a big part of that, 25. And you see some of the names, including Appalachian State, Marshall. It has been an incredible run here at Montana as they have dominated league play.
Yes, they have. And like I said, it's year in and year out, they're a team you have to keep an eye on because they're going to be there when the playoffs roll around.
The kickoff by John Williams. It'll be Schulte at the 5-yard line for Montana. Up the seam in the middle of the 30 and to the 31-yard line as Weber State's Nick Webb on the special teams tackle. So this game very much hanging in the balance, late 3rd quarter, and the defensive play has been solid for both sides. It has really tightened up in the red zone.
Tightened up, but right now, Weber State has to have a a serious 3-and-out series right now for Montana, and Montana has to have a nice long drive that results in some points, because it's a one-score game right now. If Weber State scores, they're right back in it. It's tied up, but Montana can put it away with another touchdown. It's a huge series.
Bergquist to throw. He wants Mariani. He has him, escapes a tackler, and has a first down and puts his head down to the 44-yard line.
And there he is. He had one catch for -1 yard. Then this is what he can do. When he gets the football, he makes things happen. He moves the chains. He's very dangerous. He's always one tackle away from breaking a big play.
He was a kick returner, punt returner primarily last year. Had just 3 starts as a wide receiver and has taken that stardom to the receiving corps and has led the way this year. 59 catches on the season for the junior from Havre, Montana. From the gun, Bergquist going to keep it, and that was not a good idea, as he is shut down immediately at the line of scrimmage. Folsom was in there. And that will be the final play of this third quarter.
He takes a big shot. I'm sure that's not the design on that play, though. You don't want your quarterback getting hit like that. He takes a big shot. Great play by Weber State.
Each team with a field goal here in the third quarter. Physical play on both sides. These teams don't care too much for each other. A trip to the national semifinals is on the line. Third quarter in the books from Missoula, Montana. A beautiful day in Big Sky Country. A little chilly, but no precipitation today. We're in the FCS quarterfinal, Weber State and Montana. Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula, the site. Trey Bender alongside Doug Chapman. Glad you're with us. The co-Big Sky champions meeting for the second time this year. Montana, the quick start, cashing in on a couple turnovers in the first quarter. But Weber State with the answer, and look at what they've done. 8-0 in the stadium in FCS quarterfinal action, trying to make it 9-0. They have the lead and they have the ball as we open up the fourth. Hand off to Reynolds. And the physical running back takes it up to the 47-yard line. A tough 3 yards that time. Kevin Linehan in there on the play.
And Weber's got to find a way to stop Reynolds before he gets started. Get some penetration up front and stop him in the backfield. The best way to stop the running game is to get penetration. They haven't done a great job doing it. Reynolds has already gone over 100 yards, but they've got to find a way now. It's fourth quarter. It's do or die.
Bergquist, who looked like he was a little bit shaken up earlier in this half, appears to be okay, facing a 3rd and 7. Montana against a 4-man front. Bergquist going deep. He wants Schulte downfield, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. Good coverage by Josh Morris. He was right with Rob Schulte, the senior, and didn't allow him any room to operate down there.
Good job by Bergquist hanging in there. The number 54 for Weber State, Pate Mulaney. I'm telling you, he just bull rushed the left tackle to get back there. Almost got to the quarterback. Great job by Bergquist. Just couldn't keep the ball in the field. Good coverage downfield.
There's Adewati awaiting the punt from Ken Wood. Weber State get the football back here and a chance to square things here early in the fourth quarter. Wood gets the kick away. Bounces sideways out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 19, and that's where the Wildcats will have it. Update of the FCS brackets. James Madison, Villanova gets on the board against him.
And all the teams now are good, All the teams now that are playing are good. You're not in the playoffs for no reason, So Villanova, they may be the underdog, but they're going to give James Madison all they've got.
And the big upset, of course, Richmond over Appalachian State, 33-13. The Colonial Athletic Association represented 4 of them in the brackets, and it's going to be interesting down the stretch. The winner of this one gets the winner of James Madison Villanova in the national semifinals. Higgins on first down wants to throw it. Throws low. Toon goes low to get it, and he makes the catch at the 26-yard line, 7 yards.
And I guess Higgins is saying, okay, you're going to keep us from going deep. You're going to prevent us from getting the ball downfield. Fine. We're going to try to pick you apart underneath in short routes. You see, raises up, scans the field, sees Toon coming back to him, throws a little bit of a low ball. Toon digs it out of the ground and catches it. Move the chains, however you have to do it, do it. Get the ball into your playmaker's hands right now.
Toon throughout the course of the year says, I've always been on the same page with the quarterback Higgins, and they're starting to find that rhythm here in the second half. Second down. Handoff Smith, right up the gut, first down, and he's out to the 36-yard line. Close to 10 yards, and he had a big hole. And the guys up front, Moocher the center, Orem, and Nahi the guard.
And rarely do you see Higgins underneath the center, but you see him right here. He gets underneath, pats the left side of his hip, straight run play downhill. Trevin Smith picks it up, moves the chains. They've got to have a huge drive right now.
They've been a good second half team all year long, coming off a big effort in the win at Cal Poly last week. Little option game here, and Higgins is going to keep it. Cuts back against the grain and then slides down at the 39-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. The last meeting between these two in Ogden, look at the second quarter. 28 points to just blow the thing open, and it was over at that point. It looked like Montana was in good shape, up 14-3 early.
It did, but like I said, you know, Weber State is one of those teams that can score a lot of points in a hurry. You see a 4-touchdown quarter they had right before halftime when they played them last. Montana knows this is a team that can score points. They've been a little bit slow and stale on offense today, but anytime they can put the pedal to the metal and move the football.
They've already run on the road once. They're trying to do it again. Here's a catch by Toon and a first down to the 43-yard line. And right now, they are clicking. Higgins and Toon are thinking the same thoughts, a step ahead of everybody else, and they move the chains again.
And you can't keep great players down forever. Higgins has been off the mark with Toon all afternoon, but when you have two guys with that much talent on the field, they're going to figure out a way to get it done, and they're getting it done. And you see the fans holding us time, says Toon time. It is Toon time to catch the slant, move the ball. They're now in Montana territory, and one score away, one touchdown away from tying this football game up.
This is 6 for 96, Toon time. It's like a bad cartoon right now for the Montana defense. First down at the 43. Higgins play fake. Guess who he's looking for? It's Toon. He'll go underneath this time, and it's to Smith. Nice move in the open field and a first down to the 30-yard line.
Man, he is shifty. You give him a little dump pass, and he can take it to the house. He is hard to bring down in space. There's not many running backs that can move like that in space. I don't care what level they're on, but he gets the football, and he just makes things happen. You see Cameron Higgins moves around, gets out of the pocket, gets out of harm's way. Toon runs off his defender. He's looking for Toon. He wants him. He had him for a second. The pressure made him move. Dumps the football down to Trevin Smith. Picks up yardage. Great drive thus far.
13-yard gain. First down at the 30. I said this time. Miley and Smith. Handoff. Smith. Big gain inside the 25, and the holes are opening up now. They ran behind the right side that time. Carlson and Orem. And that's close to 8 yards on that game.
You know, the holes are open up, but watch the cut right here of Trevin Smith. Watch him go and just slide inside. He sees it. Patience to the hole, speed through the hole. That is what they teach you as a running back. You don't have to rush to the hole, but once you see it, get through it. He gets through it in a hurry, picks up yardage.
Smith nearing the century mark now. A look at his numbers. He's also been good catching the football. Second and a couple. Lone setback, 7 yards behind center. He gets the handoff. First down and more, 15. And he's down to the 12. Colt Anderson on the tackle. There's 10 more yards, and they are just leaning on him right now. The big guys up front are setting the tone.
They're leaning on him. He's making plays. He says, lean on me, get on my back. I'll take you there. Great cut, gets north and south, gets into the secondary. Isn't touched until he's brought down by the safety. The big fellas up front, though, got their hands on the hips. They may be a bit tired, but they love it. Down to the 11-yard line, firing off the football. Mano-a-mano, move the man in front of you, run the football behind me. Let's make something happen.
Over the century mark for Smith now. First down at the 12 of Montana, looking for the tying score here. As we approach the 10-minute mark. Play fake. Higgins knocked down. Big play defensively for Montana's Jace Palmer, the junior end. And he is 6'3", and he got high off the ground to get to that one.
And Montana has to turn the intensity up right now. They've been on their heels this entire drive. They're in the red zone, and they see that Weber State is driving. They have to make some plays. Great play. Get your hands. Can't get to the quarterback? Fine. Get your hands up. Bat the ball down. You never know. Tip drill. Ball pops up. Someone comes up with an interception. They teach those guys, if you can't get there, get your hands up, bat the ball down, make a play.
Second and 10. Etowati split to the bottom of the screen. Toon to the other side. Throw Toon's way and knocked down again. And it might be a good thing that was knocked down. Keith Thompson swatted it down, but they had good coverage on that pattern to the sideline.
They had good coverage on it. If Keith Thompson pulls that ball down, he's still running right now. You know, you see him Great play, great recognition. It's like they have the play sniffed out right now. Keith Thompson probably seen that play in practice all week. He knows what this formation is, and when he sees it, he says, I can't get there, get my hands up, bat it down, and try to pick it. He bats it down, brings up a huge 3rd down and 10 for Weber State.
And the fans all standing. It is loud here at Washington Grizzly Stadium. Key moment here in the 4th quarter. 3 receivers left. Higgins, Toon makes the catch. He'll be short of the 1st down. Tackled at the 5. And that'll set up a 4th down. Brandon Fisher on the tackle.
Good route, not deep enough to pick up the 1st down. It brings up 4th and 4, and they're going to go ahead and kick it, try to get this to a 13-17 ball game.
Still plenty of time, 9:43, the clock running, and Coach McBride opts to make this a 4-point game here. Williams, who's connected on his previous attempt here in the 2nd half. This will be from 27 yards. Impressive drive, but it is stopped at the 5-yard line. The kick by Williams is good. So a couple field goals in the 2nd half for Weber State, and they draw a little bit closer. Just over 9 minutes to go from Missoula. Williams caps off the drive with the field goal, 17-13.
16.
Weber State has not won in Missoula since 1987. They draw a little bit closer with a field goal from John Williams, his 2nd of the game, a 76-yard drive, and it's now 17-13 Montana. 9:17 to play here in the FCS quarterfinal. The winner moves to the national semifinals to meet the winner of James Madison and Villanova. The kickoff from Williams is a low grounder. It's picked up by Schulte, trying to run to the other sideline, and that's a bad idea as he's tackled at the 11-yard line. Weber State with great lateral pursuit. Jonathan Caraway with the tackle. Now some pushing and shoving going on. And you can sense that this has started to heat up as the game's worn on, and it is starting to escalate right now.
Think about it. This is the team that handed Montana its only loss. So I'm sure they wanted to avenge that loss. There's a lot of bad blood between these two guys. They're fighting for the same thing, and it's spilling out a little bit on the field. Some of the rough stuff needs to calm down. Just keep it on the field, but these teams don't really like each other too much.
This is a Montana team. Their only blemish, the loss in Ogden. They went 12-1 this year.
After the play, personal foul. Number 30 on the kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run. 1st down.
It's Taylor Cedillo, the sophomore from Salt Lake. The backside push there. There was actually a couple guys going at it away from Cedillo, but he's the one that gets flagged.
It looks like Cedillo was, he saw a guy, on one of his teammates and tried to push him off, but the ref always sees who does what last,
So it would have been their worst field position of the game. Instead, they'll start from the 26, hand off to Reynolds to the edge, across the 30. Nice gain on 1st down. What a big game for Chase Reynolds, huh? 110 yards, touchdown run. That's 7 straight over the century mark.
When you can get that type of production from your running back, Andrew Schmidt also is probably up in 61 yards of his own, averaging 6 yards a carry, 8 yards a carry. When you get that type of production out of from your running backs, that usually equates wins. When you have a 100-yard rusher, you don't have to always throw the ball. It slows the game down, controls the clock, and that's what they've done so far. And that's why they've been winning so far the past 6-7 weeks.
225 rushing yards for the Grizzlies. 2nd down and 4 after that 6-yard pickup by Reynolds. He'll get the handoff again as a 1st down and hit hard by Hadley and dropped right on the spot at the 39. And that was a big-time hit, but the fans enjoy the physical nature of Chase Reynolds. Well, he and Hadley, that's two tough guys hitting head on here.
Head on, no one's going to back down. This is a very physical ball game, and they go at it. Reynolds is a big-time back. He makes big plays. You see right here, listen to this. Smack! That's what you want to hear. Pads on pads, pads popping. That's what you hear. That's what you're hearing. Reynolds running the ball hard, picking up yardage, picking up the 1st down.
Hadley and Reynolds, 2 all-conference guys, meeting on an island right there. First down from the 39 for the Grizz. Reynolds again, this time he stumbles and he goes down at the 40-yard line, a yard, and that's it as Derek Johnson stops him. And one of the few times they've held him in check.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to get some penetration, get in the gap. They've got to stop him before he gets his shoulder square. He's a smaller guy. If you can get him in the backfield and corral him before he gets turned upfield, you know, it'll shut this running game down. But they have not been able to get any penetration through these gaps on run plays.
2nd and 9 from the 40. Both defenses have tightened the screws up a little bit here in the second half. There's a 14-7 halftime lead for Montana. It's been field goals since that point. Bergquist. Mariani with a catch and a first down to the 45-yard line. 13 yards, and there's their star. He hasn't had a big day, but a big catch there.
You know, Mariani's been quiet, but he's made a couple of big catches, and his 2 big catches in the second half have moved the chains, and they've come when they have needed a catch. And he checks out of the ball game now. But he's a guy, you know, he's their go-to guy. He's not not every day is going to be your day. It's not his day to day, but he's a team player. As long as his team is winning, he's going to keep fighting and keep on scratching.
First down at the Wildcats' 45-yard line. They'll go I set this time. Bo Donaldson with Reynolds, and they send the tight end Bowden in motion. Reynolds straight ahead, and he leans forward and gets it down to the 42-yard line. Hit initially by Derek Johnson with help from Bryce Scanlon.
And right now they're just going to be content just running that ball, testing the inside of that Weber State defense, controlling the clock, milking this clock, getting it down. It's 4th quarter. This is when those 100-yard games that Reynolds has been having all year, this is when those games in that front line of Montana just wears you down. They're going to lean on you, line up, run the ball at you, make you stop them.
Top rushing team in the Big Sky Conference, and mostly because of number 34, Chase Reynolds. A look at Bergquist there from the shotgun formation with 2 backs by his side, looking to throw the football. Bergquist over the middle, incomplete, busted up, intended for Fairder. Here comes a flag. Folsom was in there, and I think they're going to get him for the penalty here.
Yeah, he got there a little early, broke on the ball a little too quick. They're going to call it too much contact.
That's a big play. That would have been a 3rd and long.
Pass interference on the defense, number 9. Ball be placed at spot of the foul. First down.
Terrell Cloud was with Folsom on that double team. First down at the 34 now.
Yeah, and this is where the penalties are going to start to add up. You can't afford to have them when you're down. There's not much time. And you see he comes in, gets in there just a bit early, had that arm draped on the receiver's back. If the referee sees that, he's going to call it every single time.
6:17 to go. First down, Montana at the 34, protecting a 4-point lead. Bergquist hands it off. Reynolds trying to stretch it outside. Good pursuit laterally by Weber State, and they stop him after a short game. Scotty Goodlow, the senior strong safety from San Diego, on the play.
You know, they finally do a good job at keeping Chase Reynolds going, you know, east and west. But when he turns upfield, he's dangerous. They can keep him going sideline to sideline, not get his shoulder square, keep him parallel to the line of scrimmage. That's what they have to do. They're not getting a lot of penetration on the runs. They've got to find a way to keep him from getting downhill on them, because he's dangerous once he turns his shoulders upfield.
Goodlow, one of the 3-year letter winners in the secondary, along with Terrell Cloud. 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7 now. Clock continues to roll. 5.5 minutes to go in this one. Bergquist steps up and throws, and that was deflected to the line of scrimmage. Intended for Fairder, and somebody got a hand up there and knocked it down, and now they've got a 3rd and long, staring him in the face.
You know, 3rd and long is a big play for Weber State. They have got to find a way to stop them. They cannot let them convert this time. Time is not on their side right now, so they have to make a play.
Now, they are at the 31 in terms of Brody McKnight. His long this season is 46 yards. There's a look at offensively what Weber State, their defense has done, the Montana offense, and they've put up good numbers today, especially running the football, over 230 yards on the ground. On 3rd down, pressure's coming on Bergquist, escapes it, and he has some room, and he has a first down as he leaps his way inside the 20-yard line. They left some real estate in the middle, and he took advantage of it.
And you know what? That's a play from a guy who really wants it. As he ran, he probably lost where the sticks were. A lot of quarterbacks would have dropped down and slid. But the bad thing about it is if you slide feet first, they mark you down where the ball was. He didn't want to take any chances on being short. He sold out, left his feet, made sure he got enough yards for the first down. That's a guy giving it up for his team. That's a guy who really wants it. Big play by Bergquist.
Cloud there on the tackle. But a first down for Montana. Under 5 minutes to go now. They're in field goal range, up 4. Bergquist hands it off to Reynolds, running left, has some blockers, but he's knocked down. And that's a good play by Ryan Galovic, because they had some numbers over on that side, but the senior rover with a big play.
Yeah, they had some numbers. They had some 2 big linemen pulling out in front of Reynolds, but great job by the senior bringing him down, because I'm telling you, right now, time is not on their side. They have to hurt, make a play. There's a man down for Montana, but Weber State's got to make some plays.
Yeah, Grizz player down at the 25-yard line. The clock, it's right now stopped momentarily with 4:30 to go. And they will tend to that Grizzly at the 25. It has been, in terms of a physical nature, this is one of those games that they are leaving it all out on the field on both sides. An FCS quarterfinal matchup and a beauty. You're watching the NCAA Division I football championships. You know, Doug Chapman has a lot of fans here in Missoula. Here, a look at a few of them. And as we look at the score by quarter, Montana's not scored a touchdown since that first quarter. And, you know, these fans had to like what they saw early, but this has developed into a classic here in this quarterfinal.
Oh, yeah.
You know those guys?
I've never seen them before, but, hey, they're out here having a little bit of fun. I'm not sure what they ate or drank this morning before they came out here to have those shirts off.
2nd and 6 from the 13. Hand off to Reynolds, trying to get to the outside. He does, and he finds the end zone. Touchdown, Montana. And Chase Reynolds gets them in the end zone for the first time since his 1-yard touchdown run back in the first quarter, and a big score with under 4 minutes to go.
You know, and I hate to say this with this much time left, but with the way that Montana's been playing, I think that just might do it. You know, they've been playing well, they've been running the football well, and I think right there that's just a statement touchdown. Run the ball in, physical, finish the run. You know, great job by Reynolds getting in there. Great drive by Montana.
Extra point coming from Brody McKnight, trying to make it an 11-point game, and he does. 4:02 to go. Coach Haug's team in front by 11. Chase Reynolds has been the big story. 147 yards and 2 touchdown runs. The last one putting him in front by 11. Weber State has some work to do. Chase Reynolds, his 2nd rushing touchdown. He extends the Montana lead to 24-13, 4 minutes to go. Rushing offense, both the running backs, the guys we highlighted, have been awesome.
You know, Trevor Smith, he's had a big game running the ball and receiving. He had a big screen earlier, set himself up for a touchdown. You see, he wiggles and weaves his way through the secondary. Hard to break down his counterpart on the other team, though. Chase Reynolds has been just as big, breaking runs. Both have gone over the century mark, but Chase Reynolds is getting the best of them today because his team is leading right now.
Punishing runner, both 7 straight 100-yard games, as Reynolds is coming off a 233-yard effort last week in the win over Texas State. Smith needs to get his team into the end zone quickly. As you see the numbers, 28 carries for Reynolds. He has been busy, and it might be a case where Weber State, they've got to get Smith involved, but it might be in the passing game here. McKnight to kick it away from the 30. A squib kick. Adewati runs up on it on the 16-yard line. Tries to get to the outside, and he's corralled at the 30. Caleb McSurdy on the tackle, freshman from Boise. Well, you've got a great passing offense, and it has been a big game from the rushing standpoint for Montana. This guy is not big, is not flashy, he just gets the job done.
You know, but we knew coming into this game what he could do. Chase Reynolds, the 6 games prior to today, going over 100 yards. You know, he sets the tone for this team. They have turned to him. They got on his back, and then once again today, he's just picked up where he left off. Over 100 yards again. Huge performance by this young man.
Higgins with 3 timeouts to work with. His team down 11. Throws, and the catch caught by, the play made by Phillips at the 36-yard line. Will set up a 2nd down from there. Past 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Missoula, Montana. We're under 4 minutes to go in this FCS quarterfinal. Washington Grizzly Stadium, one of the great venues in college football. Trey Bender with Doug Chapman, we've seen a good one. Weber State in catch-up posture here as we near the 3-minute mark, down 11 after just giving up a touchdown. Higgins delivers, and it's caught by the tight end Nakamura, and he's knocked out of bounds by Schillinger at the 43-yard line. This is a team that can strike quickly, and you don't want to give up on a Coach McBride team, and especially with the weapons they have, Higgins and Toon and Smith, they can get down the field in a hurry.
They have a lot of weapons, and Montana's done a good job this afternoon of keeping those weapons at bay. And right now, Montana knows they got to move the football. They're going to be going to the air. Keep everything in front of you if you're a Montana defensive back. Get pressure if you're a Montana defensive lineman. Try to get to the quarterback.
Higgins downfield for Toon. He overshoots it. 2nd and 10 coming up. Winner moves on to the national semifinal in the football championship subdivision to take on the winner of James Madison and Villanova. And how about the top seed in a battle in the 2nd quarter?
You know, they're at home, you know, but Villanova's going to give them all they've got. You know, if this is the playoffs, you're going to get everyone's best shot because everyone wants to be the champ at the end.
And already an upset, the Richmond Spiders over the 3-time defending national champions Appalachian State in that other part of the bracket. 2nd down, 10 from the 43 for the Wildcats. They need 2 touchdowns, or a touchdown and a 2-point conversion and a field goal. And Higgins throws it, nobody there. Nobody in the general area, the 30-yard line. And it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, they're doing a good job right now. Montana's secondary is just keeping everything in front of them. You can nickel and dime, get a 3- and 4-yarder here, but you're not going to get anything deep. And right now, you know, Cameron Higgins has nowhere to go, and he seems a bit confused where he wants to go with the football. He's frustrated because he cannot get anything vertically down the field.
Coach Mack has seen some fantastic finishes as head coach in Utah at Weber State. He's seen come from behind wins. They'll have to pull off another one here. They set up the screen. Smith the catch, and he has room and blockers. 45 and has a 1st down, and they're going to finally mark him out at the Montana 37, and they set that up perfectly.
They set it up perfectly, and they dodged the bullet because there was a big-time hold over here that the referees did not see. But hey, I'm not a ref, so if I see it and the ref didn't see it, he's the one that counts. You see Trevor Smith get out in the screen. You hear the crowd booing. They saw it, too. Smith gets out. Yeah, he got away with one there, but big play, big game for Weber State. Moves the chains. Lucky they got away with that one.
Over 100 yards receiving for Smith. 1st down at the Montana 37. 2:40 and the clock rolling here from Missoula. Higgins tipped, almost intercepted. It was almost picked up by Corwin, and then Swink, the corner, had a chance at it as well.
And right now, everyone is getting proper drops from the linebackers. The corners are keeping everything in front. The safeties are playing smart, and the linebackers get back in their drop. That's what happens when you get back into your drop properly, get the proper depth. You get up here, bat a ball down, you know, almost comes with an interception, but Cameron Higgins has got to be careful. The defenders are reading his eyes. He's staring down receivers. He's going to get another interception if he keeps it up.
Weber State would like to keep their 3 timeouts for defense. They'll run a draw. Smith, that doesn't work. He's shut down right at the 40-yard line. Lost 3 yards. Big play that time from Schillinger, the free safety.
Big play by Schillinger, but that clock just kept on rolling. They forced to use a timeout. Big-time tackle. Trevor Smith leaves him nowhere to go. Takes him off his feet, deposits him on his back. Great tackle. Forces Weber State to use one of their timeouts.
So they have 2 remaining. Schillinger, big and fast, big play guy. Junior from Baker, Montana. He and Anderson, that is a dynamic duo at the safety spots. 1st and 3rd and tackling for Coach Houck. And he realizes he gets a stop here. They can put this one away. Again, the update, Richmond upsetting the 3-time defending national champs Appalachian State. And the Spiders will take on the winner of Northern Iowa, New Hampshire. Everybody here, you know, if Montana hangs on and wins, they're hoping for a Villanova upset at James Madison so they can play the game here at Washington Grizzly Stadium in the next round.
You know, we lucked out and had dry weather today, and for the most part, it's not, you know, terribly cold. It's in the 30s. But for here, you know, the sun is shining. This is warm to them. But you never know what you're going to get here next weekend. So if a team has to come and play, it could be a snowstorm.
3rd and 13 from the 40 for Higgins. Over the middle. Wants Nakamura, and it's broken up. Colt Anderson was there, and Nakamura a little bit shaken up in the vicinity of the 16-yard line.
Brings up 4th and 13. You know, the safeties are just sitting back right now. They're backpedaling, staying on the hashes, keeping everything in front of them. Colt does a great job. Almost comes up with a pick. You know, you see right here, you know, I tell you, Higgins is getting very frustrated, trying to force balls in the double coverage, and that's what's going to happen. You get a guy knocked out, or you almost get the football picked off. He's lucky that that ball did not get picked off. Colt Anderson is sitting right there where the safety is supposed to be, playing perfect position, bats it down, almost has a second interception.
Junior from Hawaii off on his own power, and this could be the game right here. 4th and 13 at the 40. 2 timeouts remaining for Weber State. They've got to move the chains here, you would think, to have any chance in this one. 4 receivers. 9 of 15 on 4th downs. Good numbers on the season. And now we have a penalty flag. Before the snap of the football, couple flags on the field. False start, maybe?
Prior to snaps, ball starts. 66 on the offense. 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage. 4th down.
Paul Carpenter, the left tackle, that'll make it a little bit tougher. 4th and 18 now.
4th and 18, if you're a safety from Montana, just back up. As soon as that ball snapped, just backpedal. Do not let anybody get in front of you. Know where the sticks are. Tackle the guy in front of the sticks. Get the football back. Get out of here with the win.
There's Tune to the bottom of the screen. Let's see if Higgins looks for him. Over the middle, flag is thrown. The catch is made short of the stick by Adewale. He's short of the first down at the 31. What's the flag all about? It's in the backfield. Shot block on the offense, and Montana will take over. They will decline this, and they'll have the football with 2:15 to go.
Well, you know, he was short of the first down anyway, and then you know, a penalty adds insult to injury, but it just shows how Montana does not quit.
On the offense, number 73 and 55. A penalty will be declined. Result of play, 1st down.
And this place is going crazy. This place is going crazy right now. They hung in there. You know, they played against us. You know, Weber State is a much better team than they've played today. You know, they had a lot of offense, a lot of firepower, but Montana did a great job, and Coach Houck and company just kept them at bay the entire game.
2:15 to go. 2 timeouts left for the Wildcats, and they need something miraculous to happen here, trailing by 11. Montana has now won a national championship in the FCS since 2001. They're about to move to the national semifinals. Reynolds on the carry, a 1st down across the 45, still churning, and he's into Weber State territory. Swan on the tackle.
And this is nothing fancy. Just turn around and pitch the football to the guy who's got you here. Follow your big fellas up front. Break arm tackles, get north and south. And he came down inbounds, but the clock is stopped anyway via timeout. Great run by Reynolds. Nothing fancy, just follow your big lineman up front.
One of the best seasons in Montana's history. Look at that. Approaching 1,400 yards. You saw Humphrey in a piece we had earlier on that championship season in 2001. His touchdown that assaulted that victory against Furman 13-6. Reynolds right in that company, and he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time to grow and get more comfortable in this offense and just continue to grow as a football player. And, you know, just to be a sophomore and have those type of numbers and be this big of a part of the offense as a running back is, you know, is huge. They've got a lot of weapons to work with at Montana, and they keep getting kids like this. You know, he started off as a wide receiver. You know, they keep getting kids they can just plug in positions and they make plays, and he's just another guy in a long line of playmakers on offense they've had here. And
you can see they're starting to celebrate here in Missoula, and they know how to have fun here in this college town. It is a football tradition unlike many. I mean, they come out and support it. You saw it at Marshall, and you see the same thing here in Missoula. Here's Reynolds right up the gut, and he adds to his total and has a 1st down for the Wildcats 35.
And they're just, you know, right now, I think Weber State kind of packed it in a little bit, and I think Montana, they smell blood, and they're just lining up, running the ball right down their throat and making it happen.
And here is what they would like to do is as they go deeper into the playoffs. 0-4. Coach Houck came up short, losing in the championship to James Madison 31-21. And, you know, a couple first-round exits there. They won a first-round game last year, but, you know, losing last year to Wofford was really a tough pill to swallow. Lost 23-22 on a missed field goal.
Yeah, you know, and especially, you know, the way they lost it, and they're not, like I said, they're not used to losing it. You know, this is a program that is, you know, it's built on winning. You know, you look at the fans here. You look at this place is packed. You look at the support. Look at the city here. This is the program that's built on winning. And you know, an unsuccessful year is a year they do not win the national championship. It's not just good enough to get to the game. It's a pat on the back, but you know, okay, good job, and let's go win it next year. And that's how they are here. They expect to win.
You know, and it's you can see it directly through their head coach. He says, "We've been here before. This is not foreign territory. This isn't the biggest game in school history. That's for Weber State." And Weber State has had a tremendous season, and hats off to Coach McBride. What a sensational year, but this Montana team, especially on this turf, is so tough to beat. 2:01 to go. And Reynolds is tackled for a loss by Bryce Scanlon. The Wildcats, you could argue, you know, one of the great seasons in school history with Coach McBride at the helm. His 4th season here. He took over. They were 6-5, won 4 games, 5 last year, finished 5-6. This year, 10-3. And he has resurrected this program. He did the same thing at Utah. Maybe he doesn't get the credit he deserves to getting that Utah program off and running and all their success, but look at what he's done in Ogden with this Wildcats team.
You know, in 4 years, he's flip-flopped it. You know, in 04, they lost 10 games. In 08, they've won 10. And when you get a coach that can turn the program around like that, everyone starts to believe. You know, that's how you get better players in there, and you start to get tradition. It shows how good of a coach he is.
Here's Reynolds right for a couple yards to the 34. You think he's going to be sore after this one? He's I know he's over 30 carries tonight. He keeps coming back for more.
Yeah, keeps coming back. He's a workhorse. You know, he's got 32 for 179. They're going to have the ice tub ready for that young man. And then he's got to turn around. He's got to try to do it again next week. That's the thing about the playoffs. You know, you got to keep going week in and week out and get stronger as you go. And that's what this team has done so far. They didn't peak early. They didn't peak in the middle of the season. They seem to be peaking at the right time in the playoffs, and hopefully can carry through.
And it looks like they're going to avenge that loss at Weber State 45-28. They had 4 turnovers in that game that proved costly. And they're going to get the victory here on home turf and move to the national semifinals in FCS. Here's Reynolds again running left down to the 32-yard line on 3rd down. And the celebration beginning for Grizz Nation. It'll be a fun night in Missoula. Montana off to the FCS national semifinals. They take on the winner of Villanova, James Madison, in the next round.
You know, and you know, winning takes care of everything. You know, you win football games that makes you forget about last year. And you know, last year was disappointing, but right now they're very optimistic. Hopefully they can get someone here next week at home. But Montana is looking very good today, overcoming adversity. Very good football game.
Congratulations to Coach Bobby Houck in his 6th season. 6 straight Big Sky titles, 6 straight playoff trips, and thinking about a national championship. That's the type of program they have here.
That's what their mindset is. They don't have anything else on their mind except for national titles back in August when they start 2-a-days. And today is just another step towards that goal.
Doug enjoyed it. Had a good time.
Had a great time.
A lot of fun in Missoula. Montana wins it. Our final score again, 24-13 Grizzlies. For Doug Chapman and our entire crew, I'm Trey Bender. The Grizzlies winners over Weber State here in Missoula. You've been watching the NCAA Division I Football Championships. So long from Missoula, Montana.